Check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. How's everybody doing out there, man? Welcome to another episode of Krew Season on Wednesdays, man. We appreciate everybody for pulling up and kicking it with us. This is gonna be one of them ones y'all already know. First and foremost, before we get started, salute to Crusader Nation in the building. Deep as hell already. Salute to the Mars Anime. I see you. JC, what up? Everybody, man, that again, the Sousa was going on. Everybody that tapped in with us, man, we thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? Here we are again, 9:30-ish. Y'all know how we do it. Before we get started, how's everybody doing, man?
Doing good.
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm trying to get my sound together. I'm sorry.
You all good? You all good? Yeah. I'm great. I am great, man. We're gonna I don't know what happened to Ronan. Ronan should be back in a minute, but. Again, make sure everybody tap that like button. If you hadn't tapped that like button, we're going to get into some conversation today about some accountability. Laws of attraction. You know, the energy that you put out, the energy you get in, all the options available to you, your fault. What do these options look like? How do you adjust? What type of energy should you be putting out to change the options that are available to you? We're going to see if we can unpack all of this, man. There's a lot of people that a bit curious about that. So hopefully we can shed some light on it, man. But before we do, as always, man, let me introduce these amazing panelists that we have up here. First and foremost, we have Ms. Saida in the building with us. We got OT in the building with us. E, Security Boss in the building with us. Taylor.com in the building with us. My guy, Niger from Unspoken Atlanta has pulled up again and kicked it with us. Appreciate you, big dog. And balancing foes in the building. Last but not least, Roman is somewhere in the back with us together. We're gonna be up here in just a second. Housekeeping, man. All merchandise is available at crewseason.com. All hoodies, hats that you see, all paraphernalia. I don't even like saying paraphernalia, man. All items involved associated with Krew Season is available at crewseason.com. Appreciate everybody that didn't show love and purchased already. And if everybody asking about the hoodies, that is where you go get it. Live show is coming extremely soon. We had a meeting today where we was working out some kinks and planning it. We think we got the building so the venues down to 3. We just got to make a decision on those. And once that happens, we are rolling full steam ahead. It will be in Houston, and we are leaning toward October, first week of October. So prepare yourselves, clear your schedules, things of that nature. We want to see everybody there showing up and showing out. We're gonna also broadcast it live for the people who can't make it. So again, y'all gonna have access to it, man. So we appreciate y'all. We're looking forward to that heavily. Um, oh, am I missing something, bro? Or is that everything? I think so.
Yeah, that's everything. Episode should be out soon. We just had to. We parted late, and so we kind of just threw it on our editor. So he still, got to edit, but that'll be available soon. Everybody been asking, boy.
Yeah, we're gonna direct y'all to my dog Jason's Instagram. So no, but it is recorded, obviously. But
Yeah.
they got they doing their thing. But that was on us. We was recording at like midnight on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really a lot of turnaround time. But it should be available tomorrow for everybody asking. Salute to everybody that done listened to the audio already. Again, we are available. It's a lot of people that watch this stream and don't know that the pod is available on all streaming platforms. That's Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, wherever. If y'all just in the car and want to listen to it that way, or y'all can wait on the video and watch it how y'all normally watch it, man. But either way, make sure y'all tap in. We appreciate y'all. But all right, without further ado, man, let's dive right into this thing. Man, so title of the video or the thumbnail is, why are the options that are available to you terrible? A lot of people, comment on the dating game and they, a lot of it is negative. We've heard things like, oh, it's feces in the dating pool and, nobody's to be trusted out here. It's just a bunch of just people that's acting and nobody want to really get married. Nobody want to settle. So today we're going to unpack, is the pool really that bad or is it you? We'll see if we can get some accountability. But first and foremost, we're going to unpack the options word. We hear that option. We hear that phrase thrown around a lot, especially with social media. People, say social media era, people got so many options and that's causing them not to want to settle. So I want to ask y'all, is having too many options a bad thing? Or I won't say too many because that kind of shades to the point. Is having a lot of options, does that do more harm than good to the person trying to make the decision on who they should take serious? And today we're going to start with Miss Saira.
I think it does harm because you're not concentrating on one person. Like you're always comparing one with another. So that's just doesn't allow you to, to see or learn about the other person. If you're doing it without involving sex and you're just getting to know the person, then you can talk to different people. But once you involve, sex, I think it's just not good. So I don't see the problem with you talking to other people, not romantically. You're just getting to know them. I don't see it's wrong if you are intentional, to really get to know them, but you keep the romance out of, the door. But in my opinion, it could damage, it could harm you more than help you.
Oh, it's having a lot of options. A bad thing.
Never, ever, ever. Because I guess I don't know. I've always took the approach differently. Like I always knew if I was talking to 2, 3, 4, it didn't matter. Like if I found one, I would drop all of them. So obviously, if I'm entertaining them, it's like something that I'm still trying to figure out. Now, you can have a few, then you meet one or one kind of expresses more interest because that's kind of what it is too. At the beginning, you just kind of trying to feel people out. That's how I've always, looked at it. And if somebody matched my effort, then it was up from there. Then everybody else getting put to the side or thrown away. So no, it's not too many. Yeah, thrown away. I don't need you no more. Because I got my one. But if I got
So can people throw you away? Because
they can throw me away.
garbage,
Yes,
but people.
absolutely. Yes, ghosts.
Okay.
I've been ghosted. I've been all this stuff. It's a part of the game. It's that's just like playing the sport. You'll get bumps and bruises. It just is life. So um, I always know I may not be the one for everybody, and I just date like that.
All right. So SB, it's having a lot of options. A bad thing, in your opinion, and why?
I would say yes, it could be just a distraction. And I just think that if I'm dating with you know, with an idea of coming out with a husband, I should know exactly what I'm looking for or what would be good for me. So I don't have to be distracted by so many different options because you get caught up in there and then you don't even know what you want. You lose who you really are. I think you would lose who you really are. You just then now just feeding that, what would you call that? Feed that desire. And when you start doing that, things go bad. So I would say too many options are not good for you. You should be more intentional. And if you know what you want, you wouldn't have to have so many options.
I like it. I like it. Ronan, it's having a lot of options. A bad thing, in your opinion, and why?
No, can't hear you, bro.
Sorry. I said it can be if you haven't healed. Some people like to use a lot of options to hide from other people, even themselves. So when you're out there dating, and if it's something serious, then you're prepared to go on with that, move with it. But if you're just out here just bouncing around and running from yourself and trauma, then it can be problematic because not only you're damaging yourself, you're damaging other people.
I like it. It's balancing. Do you feel like having a lot of options is a bad thing?
Can you hear me good, first of all? Okay, I think it depends. I think it depends because it's like, do you have a lack mindset or do you have an abundance mindset? I really think it depends. So, and I mean it in the best way because there are a lot of people that are stagnant in relationships because they have a lack mindset and they believe they can't get more or better. So then they stay stuck. Men and women alike do this. So I think, if you stay stuck somewhere because you feel you don't have any options, it could be a terrible thing. And then you could be the extreme on the other side where people they have so many options that they can't make a decision, they can't choose anyone because they're like, I have so many options. So it's like, oh, I can't settle down with one. Me, I think personally, dang, I didn't even want to get personal, but you know what? We could get personal. I think it's good to have a lot of options because I narrowed people down based off of their integrity and character. So I'm not basing it on their looks, on their money. I'm basing it on if they have integrity and character because that's what's going to sustain long term. So if you have more than one option that has good integrity and character, then good for you. But if to be honest, it's not that many people with integrity and character. So it's just like it looks like you have options, but really it's just people you really don't want long term anyway. So you have to be realistic with what you want long term, not just what looks good in the moment. So I think for me, when I really looked at what's important, the options that I thought I had really weren't that many. They slimmed down real quick. Real quick. It was like, oh, I haven't. Oh no, I don't. It's like this much. It's not like I thought. So it was like an illusion. And I think people have an illusion of a lot of options out here. And they really should look at what's important and what will sustain long term. So that's what I had to do. And yeah, that's the best way I can answer that.
I like it. Nigel, having a lot of options, man. Being a guy that has a lot of options. Do you want to speak to whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, man, and why?
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think it's healthy. Like I feel like women don't like men that nobody else like. So if that's the case, you're gonna have options. I mean, I feel like having options is attractive. I feel like it lets you know that you might not be the only one. It kind of makes you stay on your toes to a degree, you know. But I definitely feel like it comes down to maturity too, though, because too many options can taint your elevation, if that makes sense. Knowing what's best for you, I think is the most important part. But also being able to weed out, being able to choose. I feel like you're only as good as your options, honestly. But that's just me.
Miss Kayla, having a lot of options. It's a good thing or a bad thing in your opinion?
Um, there's no instance in which I think having options is a bad thing. The opposite is having no options. So I don't see how having options is ever a bad thing. Um, because kind of like what Nigel just said, you're looking for the person for you. So even if you have all these options, they can all be great, great guys, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't mean that they're going to be for you. So I think that having options is, if you're a woman, I feel, well, women and men, if you're any kind of attractive, it just kind of comes with being born, looking the way you look. People are going to be attracted to you. They're going to try to talk to you. They're going to try to get at you. That I don't think you can even control having options. If you're attractive, you can only control, how you decide to entertain them. But yeah, I think once you know what you want and you know what it looks like, you don't have as many options as you think. Like out of those 10 people, maybe only 2 of them may actually even be really eligible for something serious with you in reality. So if it's only 2 out of 10, we need 20 or 30 to really, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like good guys that want it's probably like 2 out of 10. So if you're not even getting 10, you don't have options, mama. Like that 1 or 2 person that he's, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't really think you have options. You just have 1 person or 2 people that you're entertaining, but the likelihood of one of them being the one is really low. So, network.
network is hilarious. Man, I think it depends on how strong is your rubric. Pardon me. Everybody can't compartmentalize, and I feel like that's the problem. See, me, I'm great at compartmentalization, right? So I got 1,000 options. It doesn't matter. I know what I want, right? So I can easily just chop half the list, chop a third of the list, and when I find my woman, get rid of it. But everybody's not like that. See, what having a lot of options does to most people is that it makes them second guess their decision making. So even if they do choose a person, they thinking, well, damn, I wonder how Tanya would have been, because I hit it one time, it was incredible, right? But I wonder how she'll be in a relationship, man. I don't know. I wonder if I should have did that. Or I wonder how, man, Jasmine, though, we was cool. Like the conversation is good all the time. She just cool to be around. I wonder what a relationship with her look like. But again, when your rubric is strong, and by rubric I mean like your elimination process, which we're gonna get to in just a second. But while we're here, when your rubric is strong, you can kind of navigate it better. But when your rubric is not strong, it means that you don't know yourself, and you don't know what it is that will be compatible for you. You don't know what it is that you will be able to deal with long term. So when you don't know these things, now you're depending on these people you dating to kind of give you that information. And that's where you go wrong at. Because then you'll find yourself in a situationship for 2-3 years with somebody that should have never made it past the first round of eliminations because you don't really know yourself. You see what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, it kind of depends on how strong your rubric is. If you're great at compartmentalization, then having a lot of options is it's a great thing, because then you're going to be sure that you're going to pick the best one, and you're going to be more confident in your decision on the back end. But if you don't know yourself, it's chaotic. And the unfortunate reality is most people don't know themselves. So
Wouldn't you say though that having options allows you to be a better picker? Because the more times that you like talk to different people, to me, over the years, because I'm green. I came from the suburbs, and I was like, really, when niggas would say shit. But the more you talk to a lot of different people, you're able to be like, he bullshitting. He ain't about nothing. You're able to pick up on it quicker because you've talked to a lot of different people and you see how you learn the game a little bit better. But if you don't have option, you're only talking to one person, and you're less likely to know unless you got a course or something. You know how these people on YouTube got courses and stuff. But yeah, you're less likely to kind of know the game. Like, are they lying? Are they telling the truth? Is this, what's happening? Like, but these days, one conversation, you bullshit.
Wouldn't that be like, I'm sorry, wouldn't that be like a prospect, not an option? Because I look at it from like when I'm buying something, I have a lot of things that I can choose from, but those are prospects, not options. Options is when you narrow to everything and you have two options. I either can go this way or that way. So you all mentioned having a lot of options, but you all come to the final decision of narrowing. So you are wasting your time with people that most of them, you mentioned 20 people, and just to get two of them, that's a waste of time, energy. And when you know that not everybody's going to be a good option, they are prospects.
How would you know that they're not going to be?
Correct me if I'm wrong for using the word, but that's the way I'm looking at it.
How would you know they're not a good option if you don't talk to them?
Well,
I mean, that's why I say, like, if you talk to them, I agree with him. Like, if it's just talking,
yeah,
getting
you're
to
just
know
talking.
them, not involving relationships,
Right.
like romanticism and all that.
Yeah, just talking, like a few conversations. I'm telling you, like just a few conversations. And I know if I'm keep talking to you or not. Because yeah,
I think you will know if you set a standard for your life. If you say to yourself, I don't want a man that goes to the strip club, and then your conversation with him talks about how him and the boys go to the strip club every Friday night, that would be not an option. Or if you say, I don't want a man that entertains a threesome, or whatever you would say, anything. But if you set a standard for yourself, then that limits the options, because not everybody's going to meet your standards. So the ones that are left that did meet that, those would be the options that you have.
Yeah, it goes back to the point.
The thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
Well, that's like goes from not just studying people, but what are you doing about yourself? Like, there are things, videos, books about reading body language, learn how to read the room, learn about your tendencies when you go out here and entertain people, because you are the common denominator. But most people, they want to be entertained rather than fix themselves, and they wonder why they're in a circular spiral, when it comes to dating.
Go ahead. I'll go after Nigel.
No, I was gonna say, I'm losing my train of thought. I was thinking about, as far as having options though, sometimes not even having too much options. I feel like, cause I want to go towards how women be having too much, like they ask for too much. You know what I'm saying? You gotta also have, I feel like you gotta have a balance within that. Because now if you tell yourself, I don't want to do it, they go to a strip club every Friday, or I start, minimizing my potential candidates, it's gonna slow you down as well. So I think it's also important about having a balance too, though. Being able to, give people more of a chance, not just looking, at the surface things.
Yeah, giving people grace to get to know them on some kind of deeper level past the first conversation.
Yeah.
And that's why I was going to say, like, those options could just accidentally accumulate, over just a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks. Let's say you go to the gym, you meet somebody at the gym, somebody having a birthday party that same weekend, you meet somebody that's cool. Like, then the next week is, meet somebody at the grocery store. You just have an exchange numbers. Okay, that person got a, nice personality or whatever they, and then it just so happens, all of them have interesting conversation, and then just over time, like Kayla say, it'll just show who's kind of BSing and who's really about something, who's showing effort, who isn't. So like sometimes those options can just accidentally happen. It's not like you just going and trying to pick these options. It could be, you on the market, you single, you kind of ready to date, and you just seeing what's out there. You seeing who can kind of match your energy, who is, working hard in life, and somebody that can add value to yours and you add value to theirs. So that's why I don't think of it as a bad thing, because sometimes it just happens.
That goes back to SB's point. That's the difference between dating and courting. It's all about intent, not just your intention with that person, but yourself. You take yourself seriously when you do it.
I get that, but I don't have any intent until I get to know you, because I don't know what I'm intending, because I don't know you. So, you know, I just it's too much pressure. Like I just met you, you know, let's just get to know each other.
Everybody
What's your
everybody
favorite
starting off
color?
at the same level. Like
Right.
literally, everybody started off at the same level. So it's almost like the little water gun machine. The more you hit in the middle of that target, the more you're gonna rise your stock with me.
Yeah.
It's just like that. If you missing the target, you dwindling yourself down.
So am I seeing this? Maybe I'm looking at it differently, but just okay, we all on the same level, but then we went on a date, coffee date. He lit up a cigarette. He's no longer an option.
Yes. If that would be the case, yes. Mhm.
I got you. Okay. I just wanted to make sure because it seems like we just going in. Let's just he's attractive. Oh, he looks nice. So let's just see how he is. But there's just some things that eliminate you if you have a standard for your life. If you have standards and things that you just say, like Trill, I think says, and don't, if I'm wrong, forgive me. He's not going to do the overweight woman. I mean, you're married now, but I'm just saying.
Wow.
If I'm wrong,
You said that caliber.
That's real life, though. That's real life.
If I'm wrong, you did not say that. You didn't say it that
Nigel
way.
said, I don't disagree.
But you know what I'm trying to say. You said that
Basically,
that is not a you said that's a deal breaker. You know, he's like, no. So I'm saying
but that's something you would find out before you ended up on a date. I would know that on like our second or third conversation if you smoke cigarettes. We wouldn't even get to a date. So, you know, you would just stop talking to them and be like, okay, you know,
right.
They're not worth pursuing even dating because y'all are not aligned on like the, you know, foundational things, the deal breakers, stuff like that. That's what you're trying to get to know during those first few conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for example, I'm just saying this is just some things that make you not an option. That's all I'm saying. If we just set standards, there's going to be some things that are going to be limiting. I mean, because it could be, we could have, as ladies, I know we have long list of things that men can't do. We like, no, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. So that would limit our options. But if we don't have them, then we would have probably a lot of them. That's all.
But the thing is, sometimes like we tolerate things on people that we like more physically that we don't tolerate on somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not being fair because we're comparing. But he's more, you know, attractive, so I'm going to tolerate that on him and not on the other person. That's just because you have too many options.
Well, no, desirability politics is a thing. Like ain't shit to be about fair. If you're not attractive, if you're ugly, then you're ugly. Like there's no fairness to it, bro. Sorry, like I don't.
No. Part of the game.
I agree with you on that. If you like it, you like it, but you cannot say I'm not gonna example what SB is using the cigarettes. If you don't like someone that smokes, which I don't like people that smokes, and so I'm not gonna date someone that smokes. So, and I'm going to be around someone that smokes just because I like him physically more than the other, thinking that I'm going to make you change his mind or something like that. That's stupid.
They be doing that.
He's going to quit for you. Or how about the one with a very good looking guy that's already told you he don't want nothing serious, but he's so fine you want to spend some time with him. Is he really an option?
5 years later.
He's not.
He was never an option.
How much patience you got?
Yeah, he was never an option from that conversation. So that's like totally different because he literally is telling you, I want the opposite to what you want. I mean, the cigarette thing, I don't know. One of my best friends smoked cigarettes all through college and stopped. She hasn't smoked in 5 years. She's a mom now and a whole other person. So, I mean, I don't know.
You got to trust that 5-year process, though. Do you trust that 5-year process?
Plus, what do you mean trust it? I used to be with her every day. I used to be over her house.
I'm talking about if I'm dating her, like she telling me that, like.
Well, it's also something her husband had a no tolerance for, so she stopped.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but he gave her a chance because she was an option. So some people would have been like, no, but he actually walked it out with her, so that was good for her.
That's the thing with the vetting process. Like, yeah, they can be easy on their eyes, but if they're a beautiful bum or a handsome Holocaust, I look at that. I see how they treat people. I see their mindset and their attitude. I see how they carry themselves, how they dress, how they move around, things like that. They tell you what they're showing. I mean, they're showing you what they are little by little. We just tend to block that out because we like the idea of them rather than reality of them.
I'll tell you what else too, Kayla, just to answer your question that you asked earlier. You said, can't having a lot of options make you a better picker. I would equate that to, y'all ever like been in the mall, like Macy's, y'all pass by that perfume and cologne counter, And then they bring out one. You be like, yeah, that smell good right there. They say, oh yeah, but hold on, but try this one. They bring the other one. Like, yeah, that smell good too. Damn.
Yes,
got
I
one more
definitely
for
do
you.
that in the sacks.
Yeah, that smell good. So you look up 5 in, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna lay these 5 out. Which one you want? You like, shit. Which one
I don't
smell
even
like
know.
what?
Y'all got to get more decisive.
And then that right there, it can be,
Because
that can equate to the dating situation. It could work the same way. If you got too many, they start to blur. Like after you start smelling so many, they start
but
smelling.
that's
the
because
same
that's because you know nothing about fragrance. Because if you did, you would have your coffee beans in order to clear your palate before the next one. You don't know what you're doing. That's why you're not doing it right.
And there's
Well,
a message.
That's what he said.
Which goes back to my point.
It also
Right?
goes
If
down
your
to the
rubric
price,
ain't
too.
right, you
Trial and
shouldn't
error.
want those options.
You
Most
made his
people's
point.
rubric ain't right.
That's what he said. Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to the price at that point. Like,
Right.
that was
Don't
the best,
nobody
but
care
I
about
mean,
the price.
OT is like, I'm taking whichever one's cheaper. Give me the cheapest one.
Oh, gee, nobody cares about the price when it
I
smells
ain't
good.
paying $300 today. You know, I pay that
But it's
180.
Bond.
I pay that
You
180.
might do two for
But it's
200.
Bond number 9, OT.
But you gotta think about it too. It's like it may smell good in the bottle, but how's it work with your pheromones?
Exactly. That's
That's why you get the sample
like
bottle,
that.
you test it out, and then you come back and purchase the full 3.4.
I was about to say, if you know about perfumes, you don't test it in your skin at the moment. All of them, you don't test it in the paper. Nope, you don't do that. So
And it would help if you wash your ass. But that's another
even if you have the coffee bean, you can't.
Just buy
You
more than
smell it on
one.
somebody else, and then no.
Wait a minute, Trill, can we have more than one?
Always.
We can get a bunch of the
Is that an
roller
option?
balls.
Is that
We
an
can
option?
get a bunch of the roller ones, the little tube ones,
Mhm.
and then try those out for like a few weeks, and then go back and buy the big one.
See,
Whatever
that's
lasts all day. When it goes
that's
all
how the
day,
vetting
you know,
process
we'll
goes.
take.
But and also them sellers don't be trying to let you leave on the low.
No.
They be, hey, look, can I just get the sample and come back? Whoa! I got one more for you. Let me just bring this one out. They just be like, damn. All right, man. Let me get that one, man. I'm gonna come back and try the rest. The Mason sales would be pretty good on the low. Huh? They don't get enough credit. But all right, man. We're gonna pay some bills real quick, man. And then we're gonna get to the next one we got, man. This is from Jeffrey with the fireball. When it comes down to options, the answer lies in a mindset and intent with said options. Is it recreational dating or courtship with intent to marry?
good question.
I agree. Isaiah, fireball. Can SB and Kayla drop the skin routine for the good folks in Crusader Nation? We're trying to get right for the summer. And y'all are
I got
operating at
you.
an exceptional level.
I got you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Melanated
Appreciate you.
days.
Hey, Davinsky with 2 bar. Respect to the panel. Great infotainment. Appreciate you, big dog. That's love. Jeffrey again to the panel. How much of the intangibles of a person's character is actually looked at within said options, whilst also looking at the tangibles? That is a great question.
Damn good question. Yeah.
I would say, depending on it depends on. Damn, I hate saying depend.
Come on, man.
We gonna lean one side or the other.
Come on.
How much of the intangibles or a person character is actually looked at? Not a lot. Most people are infatuated with the physical.
Mm.
It's handsome. She pretty as hell. She got a fat ass. Man, the rest of it we can kind of get around to that. But I'm caught up on this right now, and I need to get the number. Even in the midst of the conversations, like you laughing at all the jokes, she ain't nowhere near funny for real. Let's keep it real. But you laughing at everything, like she damn Monique or something on stage, and until you get what you came to get, and then it's like, damn, now I look past all these toxic traits that should have never allowed me to come in this bedroom to begin with. So to be honest, and women, we know they willing to look past some intangibles. So I would say not a lot. That's my take. What's y'all take on it?
I would say the intangibles come with the intentions. So you wouldn't really know that if you're not intentional with it. So if you're just going over there sleeping with them, calling them after the club, you're not really gonna get too much of their personality. You're getting one, thing out of them and you dip them. However, if you're going on consistent dates with these people or actually spending some time with them, that's when I think, you'll start seeing those intangibles come out. But it just depends on where you're at in that dating phase.
So you don't learn nothing with that 3 o'clock in the morning call?
Cardio.
Oh, you learn a lot.
I'm learning that you let me do whatever I want.
That's not saying a whole lot. That's not. They don't give you enough.
But at the same time,
I'm me though.
I'm me.
I say I was about to say that. I wasn't even going. See, I wasn't even going there.
Everybody swear they somebody.
She could just really like you. And maybe y'all can work opposite shifts, and that's when she's available. So, you know. So I mean, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes you just hit it off like that, but with your intent, you're starting to look at things like for real. Like if they're really pressing the sex like that, I hit them like why don't we sit there and go get tested first? I want to see how they really react to like a little sense of responsibility, because you can't trust everybody out here. They some people got them love bumps, or when you get out here, just see how they move, just how they handle.
Wait a minute. Love bumps.
No, we're not stopping there. No,
bump bump.
no,
Bump.
keep going, Ronan. We're not stopping right there.
Clear up that herpes, but
It ain't 12 o'clock either, so let's keep going. You're right.
So, like when you're going out to eat, how they conduct themselves. Like again, like is it cool conversation or is it forced? So it should be cool, laid back, and everything like that, and go from there. But some people like to put on a face, like when they're out. Some people go out when they're hungry. Some people go out because they're bored. You gotta see their intent too, if it matches up. So it's not like you're putting full court pressure in there. You want them to make an honest decision that when they're most comfortable, so you can make one too.
Yeah, I gotta be thinking about people who got lists. Like, you got 4 or 5 options, each of them doing different things. Like, are you really like intentional with that?
Put your hat in.
I'm just asking, like, because I know a lot of women who got guys for different reasons. They all do different things for them. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like, are you really looking for something, or are you just trying to get this, this next bill paid?
I don't think you're intentional if you have them for different things. Now, if you're just talking of all of them, it's put your hat in, may the best man win. But if you looking at them for different reasons, no, I don't think you're intentional.
Sometimes it's a bad draft class. I'm good.
All right, man.
Okay.
All right, we appreciate the question, big dog. We got Chav, the fireball. Men have options. Most women want to have real options. Women options are not real. How many men you want approach you in real life?
Don't get me started.
It's a safe space.
The ones that you really want?
Yeah. Because if we're gonna be honest, the options that you really want are the only ones that really matter anyway, right? Like none of us are ruthless enough to just go back and settle for somebody that's left over, right?
But as a woman, I mean, it don't matter how much you like it. It's about the effort that they're putting in. It don't matter how much you like them. It don't matter how great you think they are. If they're not putting in the effort that they need to show you they're serious, then you gotta unfortunately go like, damn, I liked him, but he ain't doing shit. So he gotta go. He gotta get off the list. He's not.
Here's a question. Like in a situation like that, would you do something to try to provoke a little uptick in effort, or would you just chalk it to, oh, he bullshitting, I'm out?
So I had this discussion with my friend and I decided, no, I'm not doing that anymore, right? No more games. I'm just going to have an honest conversation with you and say, these are the expectations of someone that I have that's romantically interested. And after that conversation, you either going to do it or you don't. I'm not no more trying to like do something to make you do something to make you do so. Like we just gonna have adult conversations. I'm intentional. This is my expectation of someone that's as a romantic interest. This is what I expect. And
is the conversation directed towards him?
No, it's with him.
So I mean, so he knows that that he could be the one you're speaking to about.
No, it's with him directly, in person.
And it couldn't be. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, what's up with the effort plays though? Like, effort plays. Like, what effort plays are you making?
Effort on my effort?
Yeah.
I feel like I only need to have that conversation once I feel like I'm putting in more effort than you. Once I get to the point where I feel like I'm doing too much, then I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Let's talk. Let's talk. I'm never gonna say let's talk. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna wait till a moment where we're in good spirits, and then, bam, I'm gonna just go ahead and have the conversation with you.
Y'all,
If
y'all
you
love
if you
waiting until those
serious, you
moments.
wouldn't mind the conversation. If you're not serious, you're gonna feel uncomfortable, have some type of excuses about being busy, have a lot going on in your life. And then I already know at the end of that conversation, this is our last conversation. Because nobody's that busy. I don't care.
All right. Say Ronan with the love of Jesus Christ, man. But you know what, Kayla, I had a question lined up, but I want to dig into that a little bit deeper, and we just about to do it in a second. Let me get done paying these bills.
Okay.
Kev in the building with the 20 ball. Hey, Trill said it best. Need to know yourself, and to be honest, most people are greedy. I agree, man. And greed with no plan is a dangerous game to play, my boy. It's a very, very, very dangerous game to play. Appreciate you, big dog. OG in the building, 20 ball. For the perfume reference, buyer's remorse is also a thing. That's very true. That's very true. And the more options you have, the higher that chance of buyer's remorse. You're going to keep it real here. Appreciate you, bro. But the question that I had, just to dig into what Kayla was saying a little bit, she said, at this point in life, man, I ain't on these games. I'm gonna have a conversation with you, let you know what it is, and then it's either you riding or you not, right? But I want to ask y'all if we gonna have just a moment of transparency here. Don't y'all feel like a bit of tug of war, a bit of gamesmanship is sometimes necessary in order to kind of set the standard as to how this thing is gonna go? Now, I ain't talking about once we get in the relationship. We ain't talking about ain't no games once we get in it. But I'm talking about positioning at the very outset of the situation. Don't y'all feel like just a little bit of tug of war is necessary? A little bit of, leverage, a little bit of finesse is necessary before we get to the straightforwardness?
I think the play-in is necessary.
Yep.
But what is that?
A breakthrough needs to happen.
What is that? What do you mean? What do you mean? what do you mean about playing? Because I just want to know if what I'm thinking of is aligning with what you're speaking of.
I was going to ask you really quick, because when you say you set those standards at the beginning, right? You let them know, what it is and whatever. So have you ever been in a situation where you laid out the game plan and they kind of faked it a little bit and then showed you who they really were later on, after y'all had relations or whatever?
Yeah, that's happened.
I'll give you another example. Some dudes, right, don't have that just aura like right out of the gate. Some dudes are like a bit nervous. And he may be a great guy. He may be cool as hell, you know what I'm saying? But he just don't really know how to approach women. But if you did happen to engage in a conversation with him, he might sweep you off your feet for real. So a lot of times, like, gamesmanship might be necessary just to get her attention on you, because you wouldn't be able to do it just by walking in the room. Like certain dudes can just walk in a room and women just snap their necks like, who is that? You know what I'm saying? But then there's other dudes who may walk in and he kind of, he's just a regular guy. You ain't gonna give him a second look. You see what I'm saying? But if you happen to engage in a conversation, he got you laughing 2 hours straight, or he cool. Damn, you cool as hell. I would have never knew this if we wouldn't have just by happenstance fall into this conversation. So that's why I asked. Some people wouldn't even be in front of you if it wasn't for a bit of gamesmanship, because they just regular exterior appearance ain't enough to do it. That's why I asked. What's your thoughts on that?
That's still at the very beginning, right? Y'all, we're not dating yet. I meant once we're dating, I'm gonna have that conversation. Not like when we're still trying to decide if we're really interested in each other. Then sometimes I'm just not answering my phone because I want you to wonder where I'm at, and what I'm doing.
There we go.
But again, that's at the beginning of us trying to establish if we're both interested for real.
And because SB said something too about the 3 a.m. situation. Now let's just be honest here. If the right dude call at 3 a.m., you're gonna want to answer it. You're gonna want to do it.
But you can't.
But that's where the gamesmanship kick in. Yeah, I'm up watching Netflix, but it's 3 a.m. and I'm not answering it because I want to set the standard for how this thing is gonna go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a form of gamesmanship, because deep down you really want to answer the call and you really want them to come over. But you don't want to present yourself like, you know what I mean?
That's a fire drill.
Like what?
That's a fireball.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm,
Yeah.
Better yet, tell them don't answer the phone, and the next day say, "Oh, I missed a call. I had to get my rest. I had to be here early at work today."
Anything, yeah.
Be real professional with it.
That's fly. That's fly.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, you
Especially
nice.
got some
You
important
are
niggas.
nice, SB. I don't be providing niggas with no explanations.
But that lets them know that you didn't ignore him though. See,
It
I
was
think
the middle of the
men,
night. What do you think
If
I
you
was
don't, but
doing?
see,
Good
I
morning.
saw
I
you
saw
said it the
Mr.
next day
Call.
though. The next day you said, I see I missed your call.
I
And
like
that's it. I
That's
see
it.
I missed your
Yeah,
call.
you ain't gotta say nothing else.
And that's it.
But if you really
you gotta
like
make it
him,
seem like you
like
happy
you
that he
really
still
like him
called
though. You
though.
want him, I really like him. I don't want him just to be like, damn, she don't get on about me. I like
She
him.
just hit.
I like how
But
you
you want him to
no,
also
no.
respect your time, so that's why you
Exactly.
also keep
Yeah.
him informed that I
You don't
usually
even
put
know.
my phone
What
on,
I
And
did.
he'll
on
be like,
silence
"Hey,
for the
he
night.
ain't
Taylor
going
don't
for
be liking
everybody."
these niggas for real.
I don't know. I probably would switch it up and be like, so what
Mm.
so you were thinking of me at 3 a.m. What were
There you
you
go.
thinking?
Yeah.
But I'm not giving him an explanation on why
I'm-
I didn't
I'm-
answer his call.
If I were to like him, I would give him an explanation.
Why listen?
And
I'm not giving.
and if we're gonna be real, if the dude like you, we gonna dig for the explanation. I'm not just gonna let you say, "Oh no, yeah, I was busy." But yeah, what you doing today? No, whoa. You were busy doing what?
Cause then
Right.
I'm thinking somebody
Busy.
else over there at
You
3 in
might
the
be
morning
with
too.
another guy. You're right.
Right.
It's 3 a.m. At 3 a.m., 10 times out of 10, I'm asleep.
You sleep for free.
But this I know
It
you
was the
wasn't
middle
asleep
of the night.
because no. Because I was scrolling Instagram and it was a green dot by your name.
What green dot? They ain't no green dots on Instagram no more.
It's a green dot that showed you was active. So I know you was up. You
Mm.
ain't
Hey.
answer. So
And
what you was
Facebook.
doing?
I mean, don't be leaving on stories either, man.
Right.
See, this social media shit.
Don't be leaving on stories, yo.
We'll
They
get you
call it
Post
trouble
a,
all
post
the
a clip
time.
of that. Don't answer my phone call. I'm
Right.
like, what?
That's crazy.
Showing your feet and Netflix in the bed.
Nah,
I know you was just
I've
up.
definitely done that though, but I had to let that person know.
Allegedly.
It's crazy, man.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so that's why I ask, because me and old man, we got a theory along with the rest of the boys is that finesse and leverage is sometimes necessary. It is, because without it, you wouldn't even get a chance to be in front of that person. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do just so they can see the rest of your personality, and then you could possibly have a chance. You see what I'm saying? But once you get in the relationship, or once y'all like in a courting stage, like okay, we moving serious. Now all that shit, all of the game shit over with. But sometimes you got to position yourself to even have a chance. That's all I'm saying.
And you'll never respect what you didn't earn.
That's facts. Ex-son husband
Ex-son husband.
with the foul ball. I love Kayla because she'll make me step my game up. It's facts, man. Got to come correct. That don't come at all. All right.
30,000, nothing less.
Yeah, 30.
See here, y'all go.
Starting off.
All
This
right,
black
man.
mentality. Black mentality. Gotta get rid of that.
All right, man. We're gonna get into the next situation, but before we do, make sure y'all hit the like button, man. I'm hearing that it's at a disrespectful variance, and y'all know how we give it up, man. Make sure that y'all tap the like button if y'all enjoying the conversation, because it's about to turn up and get even better. You know what I'm saying? If not, y'all already know that I will. So y'all hit that like button, man. We appreciate everybody for tapping in with us. Crusader Nation deep in the building. See y'all, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. Salute to the Facebook, tap in heavy too. That Facebook following going up. I think even cracked 70,000 over there, man. Salute to everybody that's tapped in with us over there. We appreciate y'all. That's love. Boy, AP in the building with the 20 ball. Say shout out to Crusader Nation. As always, good panel. I'll do my Thursday message. Much love. Have a great night. Appreciate you, bro. I already know it's love this way. Jeffrey again with the 5 ball. Man, that psycho manipulation BS. Oh, hell no. If I have to be that desperate to make a person think about me, Trey,
Let me out.
Reciprocity is key. See, look, man, that boy that messed up a classic, man. His dough let me out, but I'm gonna let you slide. I appreciate you though, gang.
Trey is the one that got out.
Right. But all right, man. Next question. We're gonna get into. We spoke about narrowing down the options. So now I'm gonna present a scenario. Let's say that you was talking to 4, but you know,
Okay.
2 of them done whittled their way away, or you done whittled your way down to 2. And these 2 fit most of your criteria. So what is the process as far as making a decision? And both of these people, you know, just to present a scenario, I'm trying to make it as even as I possibly can so I can get y'all thought process. Like what's happening? What type of tests are being distributed? I got 2 of them. They real close. Both of them handsome or gorgeous. Both of them, you know, got their own situations, money coming in. They stay solid, integrity, all of that. What type of tests are you giving these 2 people to narrow it down and see who's going to make the cut?
Test.
And okay, well, not test. What is your process? So we can put it on a more professional level. What is your process to see who's gonna make the final cut out of these 2? They both neck and neck.
Can I answer?
Yep.
I'll be straightforward to them and I'll be like, okay, this is what I want, which I've done since always. I want a relationship. I want marriage. I want another kid. That's what I want. If that's
both of them say cool.
Okay.
Then what?
Let's do it. When? Not the baby. I'm talking about let's move to the next, who's going to be taking the boyfriend, girlfriend. Because at this point, you're not having a relationship with 2 people. So you have to be girlfriend, boyfriend with the person. So you're starting a relationship, right?
No. What I'm saying is we in the dating phase. It was you had 4 options that you was talking to, not sex, not none of that. You was talking to. You might have went on a date this week, another date next week or whatever, and you kind of willing your way down. 2 done eliminated themselves. You done went on a date and one done fired up a cigarette. We done got rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Or her. The other one, you know what I'm saying? She got to talking about past trauma, and you could tell she ain't really sorted that out quite yet. So let me get rid of her. Now we got 2 left, and they both meet most of your non-negotiable list. And just like you said, I want to get married. I want to have a baby. Both of them say cool. How do you make the decision? Like what? Like how do you differentiate who gonna make what?
I got one question. Do they know about each other? Or would that just be up to me? They don't. Okay. I would go into their background. I want to know their criminal history and their credit report.
I like that. I like those. Is very important.
Very legit.
Right. I was going to say for females, I be looking for females who got health insurance. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
That's real.
Because a lot of times the guy, if he got a job, that his health insurance is only probably covering him. So if we're gonna have a family, I need to know if you're gonna be able to cover the family at least. Especially if I'm taking care of everything else, that's the least you could do.
Wait, I'm going on your health insurance. You're not going on my health insurance because I don't plan to keep this job. But I would assume that you plan to keep yours.
Sure.
Right?
Yours might be better.
If I have, like, if I plan to have kids close together, so there could be a time.
Hey,
what?
My insurance, my insurance coming out $400 every 2 weeks. Yours is $250 for the same thing. So we going with yours.
You gotta do everything in your power to keep it. So you might have to keep that job for a little minute.
Yeah.
I didn't say get rid of it immediately. I'm just saying eventually there's the likelihood I won't have it.
Oh, well. But going by what I was saying though, the options though, like them little small little details right there, they matter though. Especially when you're being serious with somebody, you looking at stuff like that. Cause
you seeing how responsible the person is? Is that what you're saying? How responsible she is? Okay.
Okay. SB Nigel. I like those. Anybody else want to jump in and get a process of elimination? Process for elimination?
Getting to know their family is important too.
That's it too.
It depends because it depends on how they are coming. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. How coming after me. So I guess whoever's putting in the most effort. Because I mean, they could both be great, but if one is putting in 90% effort, the other one's putting in 50% effort, I'm gonna choose the one who's putting in more time, energy, effort, and money, because they all coincide. So I'm gonna choose the person who's investing the most in me. Because if you're investing the most in me, time, money, energy, all of these things, then obviously we have a stronger connection. So that's who I'm gonna go with. I mean, that's what I would do.
So
Here's a
I'll go.
question: How do you
real quick.
differentiate between a man that's applying pressure, as these youngins say these days, and a man that's love bombing?
Love bombing is all about making you feel it's more about inflating your ego, right? And inflating your sense of value versus pressure is me doing things to let you know how much I value you in my life. So, that's what I would look for in terms of like who's making plans for us, who's incorporating me into their core life versus who's just doing the most things for me and trying to make me feel good.
I agree with Kayla. It's more like words against actions versus actions. I think the person that is really invested is acting like they're doing something, but the person that is only just talking, just saying things, nice things, just to so you can listen to that person, hear those things out, and take it into account. But in reality, it's nothing but just words.
So I'll say this. I had a scenario when I was younger. I was about 23, 24, something like that. So I had 4 women that was on my roster. 2 of them I knew were on the chopping block. So what I did was I invited everybody over. I had a kickback, invited the gang, had the boys over and stuff one time. This is not AC enough because I don't think he wasn't even. I don't know if he was out there yet, but no. But anyway, had all my guys over, had a little kickback. And I just let things be, let things play out. So if I was talking to you and you chose one of my partners, then I knew you off the list. So ended up one was kind of, on me like the whole night. She was asking if I needed stuff at my own place. You know what I'm saying? Like she being hospitable, she having people laugh, and she engaging everybody while some people, might be on their phone, or some people in somebody else's face. So that's how I decided that night, who I was gonna be with. And we lasted for a good little minute.
Hold on, OT. But if a woman did that to you, I'm just curious. Would you like that? Because there was this movie by Spike Lee. I think it was called She's Gotta Have It. You guys remember that movie? And she brought them all to dinner. Like I think it was 4. And she brought them all to her Thanksgiving dinner. And they were like competing with each other. It was a mess. So I want to know, like, if a woman did that to you, like, how would you feel?
I mean, I can't give my answer because if I play it, it's kind of, I want to say it's happened to me before. But I left with a prize, so I wasn't tripping. But it was a girl. It was a similar situation, and it was around the time I did this. But she had a little kickback, had her friends or whatever. But we didn't know this until like years down the line, because just so happened a couple of guys that was at the same party, we was all just talking about whoop-de-whoop, just reminiscing. We was like, damn, you was at the party too? He was like, yeah, it was. I know this person. He knew all the roommates. And I was like, bruh. And so she had kind of plotted and did a similar situation where she had guys she was talking to, just invited everybody over, to hang out. But if it happened to me, if I really liked her, maybe I might feel away. I'll say I might feel away, initially, but I wouldn't trip though. It's just, shame for me. I know somebody that would want to choose me, so it's all good. I'm gonna take some L's here and there.
That's how you go about it. Because I'm assuming you ain't telling them the 4 guys or the 4 girls that you're bringing over there. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm knowing that there's 3 other guys over here that's trying to talk to you.
Oh yeah, I'm not going.
I'm not going. Right.
I already eliminated myself. You got 3. There you go.
I'm just somebody that you invited, and it just happened to be 4 guys over there that you're talking to, and you trying to weed out which one like me the most. You know what I'm saying? And that's even shaky too though, because like he just said, guys, we'll all 4 of us be over there be talking like shit. All 4 of us done hit. Like we'll be having a conversation. You might not even be around, but we might be outside smoking or just talking, whatever. Like just in general, and you just pop up. Oh yeah, I used to smash such and such. Oh, you did? Shit, I did too. Now the third person probably quiet because he probably, you know what I'm saying? If he don't want to say nothing, like, but you like that shit dangerous though.
Damn. So fellas, y'all saying that hypothetically speaking,
Mhm.
you messing with a woman. She say, "Hey, I'm moving this
I'm the
weekend. I'm moving on
prize.
Saturday." You know what I'm saying? Which I would really appreciate it if you could come help me move. I would be so thankful. And then you pull up. You know what I'm saying? Because again, this is a woman you like. Y'all been going on dates, things of that nature, getting a bit close. You pull up and see 3 other young gentlemen there. That's not family. So are y'all saying?
Are we on the first floor or the third floor?
The more the
fourth-
merrier.
fourth
The
floor.
more the
Have
more the merrier, and
have
the
I touched
faster
it?
this move will
Have I
go.
touched it yet?
Nah.
4th floor, no elevator.
Have I touched
What?
it yet?
Damn.
They got
Are you going? Like
That's why
how's
she
that
moving.
gonna go? Is y'all gonna compete to see who gonna bring that couch down 4 flights? Or you gonna?
We're bringing the most furniture.
Hey, I'm only competing with traffic. I'm out.
That's
Nah,
funny.
because that right there be like that's another test that I be seeing women try to conduct on a low. You know, so they be trying to call you over there to help her move. You show up, it's 3 other dudes. You pull her to the side. Hey, is that your cousin? No, that's just my friend. That's my friend from.
Yeah, come on.
Now
I'm
you and bro taking a dining table down 3 flights of steps. Kind of find out she talking to him. Saying she talking.
Throwing your shit out the street.
Facts.
So those are just some of the tests that be happening. Did everybody get a test?
Or you feel away when
I-
niggas start getting too comfortable. You about to head out. He get a little too comfortable.
Yeah.
He taking his shoes off.
Wait a minute.
Getting ready to eat his pizza.
you gotta hit him. You gotta hit him with the. So what you about to do?
Nah.
He in the background with the question face too. Hell nah. Fellas, if you show up and there's 3 other dudes there that ain't family, get in your car immediately and get back on the highway, man.
I promise you,
Waste
I've
of
never
time.
heard of this test ever in my life. There's in no circumstance where I want to get the people that I'm dating together under any. I don't understand where this. I guess this is a Houston thing. I don't know. I really don't know about this. That test.
It's all over. It's all
But
over.
for me, like narrowing it down, I'm gonna go with balancing codes. It's really about who's putting in the most effort, time, money, energy, and making plans for a future. I think it's also about who has the best relationship with their mother, because I think that's going to have a lot to do with our relationship. So, and I really want to be close with my mother-in-law, as I want her around a lot. So that's important to me. Yeah.
Kayla, I learned some men though, they're married to their mothers already. In my
That's why-
experience, they have those men that are too close with their mothers.
That's
Like,
why
their
you need to
mother
know.
still cleans their house, cooks their meals, and does everything for them. So that could be tricky too. Like how
But
close
that's
are
why
you?
you need to know what
You do.
the situation is.
Mhm.
Go out with them, hang out with them, take her out, like take her to the farmer's market or something. Let's go get some fruit. I don't know, but whoever has the best situation with their mom is more than likely going to be a more successful relationship. So definitely
So
find that.
true.
As far as the testing part, I just definitely I'm meeting the family. I want to see what's going on. I want to know not just where you came from and expect to be vetted by them. I want to know what level of dysfunction I'm going to be dealing with. Then when it comes to talking to them, like personally, it's like, what are you passionate about the most? What drives you the most? Show it to me. I want to see how in depth they go into it, and like something I can build on with that. And it's like, or ask them real intimate questions about their trajectory, aside from the FICO score, the criminal report, STD results, things of that nature. Yeah, those are things I test. Oh, and plus when we go out, how they treat people. Because if they sit there treat people, like I said, like in the service industry, or just like treat them like less than, that's gonna turn me the hell off. I'm like, nah, I see what you do, so I move from there accordingly.
Am I shallow if I'm turned off by you not knowing how to pronounce things on the menu?
Mignon.
Mignon.
The waiter come over and you order a salmon. You order a salmon, well done.
Are you judging somebody because they got to read the menu with their finger?
That's funny, Krew.
I'm just
Filet
saying.
mignon.
I don't know. I just get so turned off when you and then the pinto grease you. I just can't.
Spaghetti.
So,
I mean, but those are other languages, so I think it's valid. Like, what if you go to a menu, a Korean menu, and you don't know how to pronounce that, and that person is judging you, and they know that, so it's the same thing.
No, I get that. I get that. I'm just, I'm just
If she likes you, she helps you. Same thing with a guy.
exactly. That's why you ask him, "What are you thinking of ordering?" Let him tell you. So then, if he doesn't say it right, you can correct him. So when he tells her, he can say it right.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest, Kayla. I ain't judging you for that. I ain't judging you for that at all. I mean, not that you, because again, like when you a man that's like getting to some means and things of that nature, I gotta have you on my arm amongst some like I ain't saying high value, but some people that make a lot of money and that live a certain lifestyle. And you can't be in there looking at that menu talking about, yeah, can I get a 6-ounce filet mignon? That's embarrassing me. I can't have that. And I ain't got time to teach you at this big age that we at. So I can't judge you for that, Kayla.
But guess what? As the woman, she could tell you what she wants, and then you can order for her.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
We help each other out.
Yeah,
But-
or vice versa. Whoever knows the language of the restaurant that you're eating at, let them do it.
Don't tell me.
So you're
Somebody
telling me
order
that you're
for me.
judging. If it's someone that is pronouncing it bad, it's because it never had it. So you're literally judging someone that never experienced that.
No, I'm not judging. I just said it would turn me off a little, and I might have to teach you.
Well,
I understand the teaching, but like judging, like if I don't know something, and I'm putting myself because it's a language thing. It's these words that you adopt for something from another language, and that's why you know them and you experience these things often, and that's why you know about them. But if you don't know nothing, if you have never experienced, the ignorance of a person lets me know that that person has never experienced or doesn't know about it. So
And
how am I going to judge them for that?
That's true. But
That's
there
your
are some
context.
things that are common knowledge that you would learn if you do things like read books, articles. If you read, you actually consistently add words to your vocabulary. So
I think it's
Context.
Yeah, I could be to a Korean restaurant and not pronounce a word.
Well, I mean, that's a
Same.
little different. That's a
It's
different.
Korean.
Go ahead,
It's the
Rona. Go
same.
ahead, Rona.
It's the same thing.
We're talking
filet
like,
mignon. I mean, come on.
still, but you gotta look at it's you gotta exercise a level of empathy too. Because some people, when you're dating them,
I can't believe y'all have this conversation.
you're something different. I mean,
No, but it makes sense. It's things that happen. It's things that happen.
especially when we're dating somebody, sometimes you're something different. So
No,
you
but
get-
that example she gave, I mean, everybody's heard that before.
yeah, some people.
If
That's
they're
what I'm
of
saying.
age.
Everyone's heard it, right? SB,
Yeah.
everyone has heard that.
Yeah.
Some people haven't been in certain places, so it's all new to them. So it's a chance to learn and grow with them. Now, if they've been there and they still can't do it,
I would say it this way. I will pronounce it bad just because the phoneme in Spanish is ñ, and you don't have that phoneme in your language. Mignon, that will be the pronunciation in Spanish. So that's the way I will pronounce it.
Yeah.
And
So
still
what would
not
you do?
French. Still not French. So I'm just making sure that people understand what it is to speak a second, third language.
yeah, we gotta pick our battles.
Parlez-vous français? No.
But see, look, this right here is why it's relevant.
Mhm.
For context, the scenario that I presented, I said we down to 2. They both of them got most of what we want. At this point, it's getting petty to try to separate them, but they
It
both neck and
matters.
neck.
It matters.
Okay.
It just depends on your life. Next week, I have a business meeting I have to go to for work. It is a golf tournament with one of the largest car groups in America.
Okay.
And if I bring you with me, all I'm saying is I don't.
Like I knew a man who would say all the time, conversate, and he would never say converse, right?
Oh, that's
And-
both.
Yeah, he would say conversate all the time. And it's like, so I would try to correct him.
That's her
Now,
addiction.
okay, so
You know
I
what? I
didn't,
have to put this in the
I
urban
didn't have an
dictionary.
issue if he would have, took the correction and went with it. But the fact where he's like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like tomato, tomato.
Me.
That's the part
Me.
that I couldn't.
But that right there tells you about that person is not open to feedback.
Exactly.
So that matters. That
Yeah,
matters
that
a
part
lot.
matters. That's
Yes,
what I'm saying.
it matters.
That's true.
But I think that may be in the urban dictionary now. I think so many people make that mistake that is
And they
actually
still mess it up.
It's in the
now
urban dictionary.
it's now a word. Yes, I think
That's true.
now.
However, if you only know one language, you should really know that one. Sorry.
That's the point too.
Yeah, but damn.
I agree with
If
that.
you only know one, you can at least know that one to the
I
best.
agree
You
with
know?
that.
Damn.
But my ways of distinction, and again, they both neck and neck, man. Both of them are gorgeous. Both of them are ambitious. Both of them challenge me from a mental perspective. They can swim out there to that deep water with me. I would look at your moms, because 9 times out of 10, that's who I'm gonna be married to in 20 years.
It's a forecast.
So that's just honest. From the
Bless
build,
you.
to the demeanor to all of that, you can get a great idea of what you signing up for by looking at our moms. And for two, like I'm extremely intrigued by the gravitational pull that you have on other people.
Hmm.
Like it's certain women, man, that can just walk in a room and just like suck the energy out of the room. Everybody is just like everybody she's talked to, they face is lit up like that. Like everybody feel like they know her. You know what I'm saying? The conversation flows smooth. She just has just great energy. People like to be around her. She could walk in, not know nobody, leave out with 10 new friends. Like that type of stuff is very attractive to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a woman just walk in the room and go hide in the corner somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I mean, she cool with me, but it's just like, damn, you don't know how to work the room. You don't know how to be sociable. You don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's very important to me. Like, what type of gravitational pull do you have on people outside of me? So I feel like those two things would be like, I wouldn't say top priority, but again, these women neck and neck. So we getting down to petty separations. So those two things is what is a couple of things that I would use to kind of make my decision.
I'm glad you said that, because it's that if they got that light on them like that, that makes them stand out above and beyond, rather than that chick who's just in her phone. It's like, this is such and such. Hey, nah, hate that shit. Hate it.
That's real. Also, just real quick before we leave this ain't even on the docket. How y'all gonna relay that message to the other one once you make the decision?
They ain't relaying no message. They ghosting them. Y'all know how it goes, don't care.
No, I'm not ghosting. I'm too mature.
Nah, not if it's serious. Not if it's serious.
I'm not gonna ghost you. That's not nice.
No, I'm just being funny.
Just not working out. No, but I mean, outside of that though, I'm ghosting. Outside of that, if I ain't serious, I just might ghost. I don't owe you no explanation.
Well, after careful consideration,
after careful consideration.
Wow, Ronan.
Crazy.
If it's serious, I'm gonna sit you down and have a conversation. If it's not, I'm gonna just micro dose you on out the door. Just a little bit, and a little less, and a little less, and then I just don't talk to you no more.
Just go
away.
Just go.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to the other one finding out on social media with everybody else. I'm not opposed to that.
When you do the reveal,
the
reveal.
Hey, check your Twitter feed.
This why though? Because certain people, man, like you can sit them down and give them that corporate rejection letter, like Ronan talking about. After deep and deep consideration, that type of thing. And then they'd be like, you know what? Okay, I respect it. Some people, they ain't going that easy. Like they want to know, like, what does she have that I don't have? Quote unquote. This is not conjecture I'm giving you. This is something that happened to me. Right? She's like, what does she have that I don't have? And now we got to have a very awkward conversation. And sometimes you just don't want to have that, man. Especially if we not on a deep courting stage. You know what I'm saying? Like we dating a couple dates here, there, and I just chose her. I don't want to have to tell you what your flaws are and why you don't measure up to this woman.
It's an exit interview or something.
That's weird. That's really weird. Like Judge Lynn Toller said, don't let a man tell you he don't want you more than once. That's all you need is that one time.
Some cannot take.
I have a question though.
That's it.
So once you let her know that you're gonna move on to the next one or the other person, are you not having those 3 o'clock calls, 3 a.m. calls anymore? We're done with that.
Don't do it.
Done.
He getting in a relationship now.
Yeah, we done.
I'm busy.
So even though she didn't take the letdown very well, you're definitely closing the door completely.
That's her problem.
Bro, I don't have situations where I'm dating a girl. Well, I'm not even dating her. We talking or whatever. She's trying to date me or whatever. And for whatever reason, I just don't come through the next day, or I don't text back the next day. And 2 days later, you find that 2 days or 2 weeks later, she's gonna get married. He'd be like, "What?
Wow,
well, you was just talking to me. Now you finna get married. You finna go all the way." They let me
Life
already know
start,
that I was
that's
the
when the
option.
beginning.
Right. And I was thinking like, damn, did she think I was gonna wife her? But really, I had to come to the conclusion that shit. I was just an option anyway. You know what I'm saying? I had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Dang.
And
That's cool though.
I think I was crazy when I said bookmark booty. It's a real thing.
Are you okay?
Oh no, I'm okay. It's just that when you sit back and you think about it, like, damn, you was just on me like 3 days ago, and now you
Like
finna get married.
Nah, you was just on the side. You was just the last hoorah.
You was a test run.
Like married. That's crazy though. Like it just be letting me think how people thinking process is when they come to it. Like it's a cold world though.
But what was she supposed to do?
Well, no. I'm not saying that she wasn't supposed to move on. I'm just saying that, or I'm not even upset that it didn't work out between us two. I'm just saying like the simple fact of you talking to somebody and then 2 weeks, less than a month, you're married. You're getting married. You know what I'm saying?
She was with somebody already,
exactly.
That's what you're saying. That she was with somebody trying to talk to you, or still talking to other people while being in a serious relationship.
But not all.
That says something bad about her more than you.
But not all people. Not all people do relationships. Some people do. You want to get married or you don't want to get married. I'm not being your girlfriend for a year, so. Some people marry people that they've been dating for 3 months.
You're just a subscription.
But that what made me think that she was expecting me to marry her in 3 months. Like, and they wasn't even I wasn't even thinking about that.
Maybe she was, but she realized you wasn't. So when you missed the day of texting her, she took your ass off the list.
You dodged a bullet.
Wow.
No, she was intentional. She wanted to get married
in 3 weeks. Wow.
And you thought that she was the kind of girl you cannot text for a day. No, sir.
Well, I don't even think it was that though. You know how
no,
things
sir.
go. They
not text me back all day, all night. No, sir.
But still though, even with that though, like it's stages that we skipping. Like
the average person picks up their phone 58 times a day. I don't care what you got going on. You didn't text me all day, all night. You're not thinking about marrying me. You didn't check to see if I was okay. That make it home.
I'm thinking about making you my girlfriend first. We I'm saying we skipping steps. Like that's what I'm saying.
I think he won.
But see, Nigel, this thing, bro, is that I want to ride with you. I want to ride.
I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying like it'll happen. You know, the thought process after the fact, you start thinking about it.
Right.
Like, damn, you finna get married like right now, like this fast, like it's just the thought. It's not that I'm upset about it. I might be cool with it. I probably didn't even really care. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just watching how you move. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man, because I think, and I be seeing this question on social media a lot. People be like, man, like, should you be able to go a whole day without talking to your significant other? Like, if it's not mandatory, like you overseas, you in the war, something like that. Like, I don't see a reason why, like, if it's a woman that a man really likes, we not going no full day without talking to you, at least in some form or another, even if it's a text or a call or what. Me personally, I need a phone call, but some people, operate differently. Text, email, DM, reaction, anything. But to go a whole day without talking to the woman that I really like, hell no.
That's how he eliminates himself. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's just my thoughts. But all right, man, we're gonna pay some bills, man, and get down to business. We done been, talking, and on the positive light of having options. Now we're gonna get to the other side and speak to why people's options are not up to par. But before we do, Smooth in the building with the 50 ball, the man himself. Boy, gonna be back real soon, man. Everybody keep asking, where's Smooth at? Where's Smooth at? He's gonna be back real soon. My boy say miss being in action, so I'm supporting in the back until I can get back to God level. Salute to my dog, man. He gonna be back real soon. Hold tight. Another 50 ball. The man himself. Boy, so he just supporting the best channel known for its integrity and respect. That's a fact. That is a fact, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Jason with 20 ball. Say when the choice comes down to the final two women, pick the one who has the second toe that is shorter than the big toe. If that second toe is longer, then they are crazy.
Wow.
Now we're looking at feet.
Shout out to Jason. that is hilarious. Big Mel in the building with 20 ball. Say find out if there are any illness that runs in the family. You don't want to pass it to the kids. Health first. Damn, I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
That is a good point. Appreciate you, big dog. Scooby with the come on, man. 20 ball. Leaves in the chat. Y'all see it, man. Put leaves in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. We got Antoine 2 ball, but you are leaving though. Appreciate you, fam. My boy Scooby back again, another 20 ball. Let me get the filter. Hey man, I done heard these words at the restaurant. That's what's so funny, dog. Hey, please, man, sharpen up on y'all pronunciation at these restaurants. Jesus Christ, man. Appreciate you, School.
With a side of Spugatti.
That is crazy, man. Y'all covers with the 20 ball. Says, do you keep your word, big or small? Follow through determines your integrity. Is what you say out loud as important to the moment as it is to you personally? Wonderful podcast. Keep up the great work. I appreciate it. That's love, man. Thank you so much. We got Jeffrey with the 5 ball. Seems that many people right now are suffering from the after effects of love bombs or love bumps. Take your pick. Man, go. Let me Appreciate you, fam. Mike with the 5 ball. To choose from the same 2 good women, I'm putting myself under the worst conditions to see who's going to cut me slack or grace.
Interesting.
Damn. So you basically saying he gonna wait until you run into some serious adversity and then see how they both respond.
It's interesting.
I like that. I like
As
that. I mean, it's gonna be hard to
as long as it's real, not fake.
No, it'd be real.
See, hold on. That you missing that phone call at 3 in the morning was fake.
You pretending that your uncle died. We not doing that. You pretending that you lost your job. You pretending that something happened to your dog. Like, no, we're not doing that. That's totally different than just a missed phone call.
A missed phone call with no explanation though.
Ooh.
I'm just saying though. I'm just messing with you.
Man, we spinning the block.
All right, appreciate you, Mike.
All right.
Rojo, the 5 ball. What up, fam? You supposed to have that talk in the car. Don't get in here talking foolish.
Hey man, I had that happen before.
Being here embarrassing me in front of these people. Man. Jesus Christ. Miss Parker with the fireball. Y'all both please get tested for sickle cell trait if you were born after 1976.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
That's true too.
There we
Yep.
go.
Mm.
All right. Again, man, tap the like button if you ain't got a chance to do it yet, man. We appreciate everybody for pulling up and kicking it with us tonight, man. Let's get into something interesting. Again, a lot of people complain about the options they have, but oftentimes it can be attributed to the person you are. There's a theory called the law of attraction.
Mhm.
Is everybody familiar with it?
Yes, sir.
All right. For those that aren't familiar, let me read just a brief summary. The law of attraction is a philosophy suggesting that positive thoughts bring positive results into a person's life, while negative thoughts bring negative outcomes. It is based on the belief that thoughts are a form of energy, and that positive energy attracts success in all areas of life, including health, finances, and relationships.
Yes.
So to break that down a bit further, or to simplify it, the energy that you put out is typically the energy that you get in return.
Mhm.
You attract what you are.
So, for example, if you are broken, you tend to attract broken people.
Mhm.
If you are, healthy and whole, and you're working on yourself and progressing and things of that nature, you tend to attract those type of people. That's essentially what the law is saying. But we've had some people who, express some kind, different thoughts regarding it. They're saying that they feel like for the majority of the time that's true, but there are also great actors
Mhm.
who can come in and portray something very well, sell a dream, and that
Instagram.
that could kind of thwart that logic. So I want to get y'all take. Like, do y'all believe in the law of attraction? And why? Why not? And we can start with SB.
I definitely believe it. I think anything living has energy, and what you put out is what you get. I definitely believe that. But I don't know about that faking thing. I don't know. I don't think you can truly fake it. I think that's a part of energy that what I'm dealing with is like your heart and your soul. Your soul and heart knows when something is not right, especially within relationships. If you're getting close with someone, you know it. You know when something's not right. May not be able to say exactly what it is, but you know.
I like it. Oh, do you believe in the law of attraction? Why not?
Yes, I would say yes. For the most part, yeah. With me, like I'll just say, like when I was out living, you know what I'm saying, living my best life, that's the type of people I was attracting. I
Mhm.
wasn't attracting nobody that was looking for no serious relationship. They was on the same type of time I was on. But when I decided to be more serious, and that's when, people started filtering out, and more people that I was looking for was serious. But yeah, I think absolutely. Law of attraction is very real for the most part. Of course, there are outliers, but yeah, for the most part, yeah, I agree.
All right, Miss Kayla, the law of attraction. Does it have validity to it or not?
For sure. I think vibrationally, definitely. Overall, I do think that sometimes there are people that are predatory, uh, and that is not necessarily the law of attraction. But there sometimes men can tell if like you're lonely or desperate or whatever. Even if you're a good person, they may be predatory in that regard. But I think in terms of people being like good people, bad people, high energy or high vibrations, low vibrations, they just tend to attract each other. Misery loves company, trauma bonding, things of that nature. So I definitely agree with that. I agree with law of attraction.
All right, Nigel, law of attraction. Do you agree with it? Why not?
No, I definitely believe in it. I think like you were saying earlier, like what you're going through, like if you're in a stage where you're not in places that you should be mentally, you can't be mad at that. If I'm in the club, can't be mad if I'm finding ain't shit women, and if I'm in the club, like it's just part of it. Like, what are you doing to try to better yourself? I feel like if you can grasp that, then everything around that is going to attract in a positive light. Um, But I feel like it's a maturity thing because a lot of times growing up, we can't really control our environment. You know what I'm saying? It gets to a certain point where we can't really have full control over, what's around me, who around me, what am I doing? You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of goes down to it, and also trial and error too. You bump your head the first couple times, and the next couple times you kind of realize like, yeah, that person ain't for me, so I can't really hang around that. Or like OT said, like if I'm in my whole phase. I'm gonna be outside every day. So I'm just gonna be, random people. That's what I'm gonna be attracted. But if I'm really trying to be around people that's other couples that's married, you know what I'm saying? That might change my perspective on who I'm around and who am I trying to talk to and what I'm looking for long term. So I think that's basically what it comes down to.
I agree with that. Balance, the law of attraction. What are your thoughts on it?
I definitely believe in the law of attraction. I believe in a lot of universal laws, basically all the universal laws. But I will say, I hear a lot of women say a lot of times, I don't know why I'm attracting like a man that cheats on me, and I would never cheat on a man. It's not that you would do the same exact act to a person, but if you don't have self love, high self esteem, a sense of self worth, then you're attracting men who see you in the same light. They don't see you with high self esteem. They don't see your value, your sense of worth. So they're going to treat you accordingly. And people could only treat you how you allow them to. So that's what we're finding with a lot of women, people in general, but right now I'm speaking about women specifically, because women have all these issues with men saying that men lie, they cheat, they do all these things, but they need your permission to do it to you. They need your consent. Like if you're sitting there and allowing it, they will do it. And that's something that you have to work out within yourself because it's not his fault. It's your fault if you stay. If you stay and you accept this behavior over and over and over, that's an issue within yourself. You don't love yourself. You lack that self-worth. So you really should develop that self-love and self-worth and work on yourself, get therapy, whatever you need to do before you get into these relationships, because attractive women will attract all types of men, honestly. But it's about who you let stay around in your energy around you. That's what's important. So work on yourself first, and then you'll get the better results that you desire, is what I would tell women.
Like that. Like that a lot. Rona, laws of attraction. Law of attraction. What are your thoughts on it, bro?
I definitely believe in it. And I always ask other people questions I ask myself. Who would you be without outside your negative narrative? If you don't respect yourself, you can't say you love yourself. Can't do the same thing other people. So I definitely believe in it. I believe words are powerful. If you think you're never gonna lose weight, don't be surprised when it don't happen. And plus, it's not just with me, working out 5 times, 6 times a week and doing a different path. I look at your diet. What are you consuming? We're talking about audio, visual, people you're around. Sometimes you meet those people in your past that'll test you. Either you're mature or you're still stuck on stupid. So when it comes to it, that law of attraction, it will come back and test you to see if you're graduated or you're just a remedial individual making excuses.
Well said. Saida, the law of attraction. What are your thoughts on it?
I think we are energy, but what I've noticed lately is that everybody's like, I'm positive, I'm attracting that's something that I have noticed as well. And just because you think that you're positive doesn't mean that you are. Because that's also something that you have to be very careful and mindful about it. Because yes, we are energy, but just because you say you repeat yourself, I'm positive, and you don't do nothing positive, that doesn't mean that you're being positive or that you'll have good energy. So that's something that I needed just to clarify, because I think people are saying or using this just, they're being spirituals, right? And that's not what it is. That the way I see it is like you have to do, just because I'm going to combine 2 answers, which I really like. Balancing, you mentioned some really good things, and running, you also actions align with words. I am positive, but I do positive things. I eat healthy. Whatever information I allow in my life, the people I surround it with, are positive people. It's not, I'm just saying I am positive. Yeah. I make positivity. I give positivity into life. That's the way I see it.
And that's why I want to impart to everybody. And everybody made great points. I always say actions, words, and intent must work in concert. Otherwise, you're fooling yourself. There's a lot of people who talk a good game, even when you're dating or even dealing with family. You know, it's like, yeah, I'm recovered or whatnot, but they see your tendencies. You set off a certain frequency that brings certain people to you. But when you start changing and start standing on that, certain people that couldn't get access to you, now they start tuning into you because you're speaking the right things and doing the right things.
Well said. And Trill, this question made me think about another elimination question, because I was dating a man before, or courting with a man before, and I asked him if he could ever see himself being a millionaire. He's like, no. And then I'm like, well, could you see us ever accumulating $1 million like over a lifetime? No. He just was so, like, the way he saw things was so negative. And I'm like, if that's how you think about yourself, imagine us linking together. You're going to bring me down. Like, this is not going to work. Because if you, $1 million to me is not a lot of money. It's 1 million. You can't even see you accumulating that over time. Like, I'm like, we're going different directions. And then he had a lack mindset. So that's something that you'll get eliminated for, because you're not going to be just negative and can't think you can make this amount of money. And I'm like, I'm trying to make 100 million. You're like, I don't even think I can make 1 million. I'm like, we're not compatible. Because it's just, I can't convince you to think higher of yourself, to have an abundance mindset. You need to come that way.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, Bouncy, because like that's one of the questions you sit there and vet him out. Like, ask him, what is it you love to do? Because if you're into that, I know I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to show you what I do. But if you're doing something passionate, it's on me to support that. If we're talking about relationship, we bring those abilities together and build on that. If you make your money, cool, do your thing. But we're building towards something, not just I'm dragging you towards, you know, a finishing point. Because after a while, you're going to be seen as dead weight.
You know what? That's interesting, because sometimes we can speak life into men, because if you tell a man that has not had that in his entire life that he can do anything, and you will support him in him doing anything, he will try to do all things or whatever it is, because now you are saying, you like his cheerleader, babe, you can do that. You can put those windows in that house. You can put that siding on the house. It's like, you think I can? Yeah, those guys ain't no smarter than you. Look what they did. I think I can do it, baby. And go to YouTube University and they'll figure it out. So I see what you're saying though with the money part, but I do think sometimes we can inspire and be cheerleaders for our men, and they will take on things that you know they maybe wouldn't have done, you know, alone. So that's
I agree with that, but I do think it is how you conduct yourself as a trainee. Like, there's people that you encourage them, and then, you know, they're running to the field like, you know what, you're right. Let me go try. Let me go do this. And then there's people like the whole time they're like, oh, this isn't gonna work. Oh, is this gonna work? I don't know if this is gonna work. Like, I like your negative energy. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is so annoying. So it's like, give it your best effort or don't do it. But those people that like just bring the energy down through it, like, that's really tough.
Yeah.
I'm glad Trill and OT put that out there, especially on the video. They're like, treat your woman like she's a force multiplier. Because if she is solid like that, she's speaking life into you, that man is knocking down walls like nothing.
Yep.
But you have to breathe life into her too. Let her know, like, I chose you for many reasons. Like, this just isn't for show. I see something in you that you don't see, or even that you don't take advantage of. Build on that, and you start seeing that energy. Like, it's that level of reciprocity that most people don't want to approach. So I'm glad you guys said that.
I agree, man. Like, it's nothing worse on earth to a man than letting the woman he love down.
Yep.
That's why, you know, stating your expectations. I agree with y'all 1,000%. Like, and we spoke about it a while back in terms of like why some men may hesitate to get married. It's because we may hear your expectations and what you expect in a marriage, and then think like, damn, I ain't nowhere near that right now. I got some work to do. Let me try to get another job. Let me try to get another sense of income. She want this type of wedding. She want this type of ring. She want this type of dress or whatever. So a man gonna go out of his way to at least try to make it happen if he really love you. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of him trying, sometimes he gonna accomplish some shit. And then when he does, now he has a newfound confidence in himself, but you instilled that in him. So, I mean, y'all 1,000% right. Having the right woman in your corner can change a man's whole outlook on himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why choosing wisely is so important. But in terms of the law of attraction, I agree 1,000%, man. I think, you know, a lot of people have a false perception of what their self-worth is. People look in the mirror and tell themselves a lot of things that just aren't true. I deserve this, I deserve that. I was speaking a while back about like some people can look back on failed relationships and just quickly surmise, well, you know what, man, I was above that person. I don't know why I stayed in there so long. Like, there's no way I should have never even gave that the time of day. Like that was beneath me. That relationship was beneath me. Fact is, it wasn't. That was exactly what you qualified for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But where you were in your journey. If you want to know somebody's self-worth, look no further than the person that they attach themselves to most frequently. So if that's the person they dating, you can look at that person and tell what their self-worth is, how that person moving. Oh, he inconsistent, he disrespectful, he out running the streets, he ain't showing her no attention, no none of that, and she's still with him anyway. So her self-esteem and her self-worth is on the ground. It doesn't matter what she tell herself in the mirror. Doesn't matter what she get online and say, what memes she post, whatever, saying I'm this, I'm that, I deserve this, I deserve that. No, you deserve what you tolerate. So the law of attraction is 1,000% honest, because when you don't think that highly of yourself, you tend to attract people who are toxic. And then you get to asking like, damn, why am I attracting all these toxic ass men? Look no further than in the mirror. It's something in you that a bit of toxicity is attractive to, because you have a bit of toxicity within yourself because you're not doing the self-work that's necessary for you to elevate. But once you get out of that relationship and you really start watching them game tapes and really start looking in that mirror and hold yourself accountable and make those necessary changes, whether it be therapy, whether it be, just fulfilling yourself in it, it's a multitude of different ways, getting in shape, learning new traits, just building your confidence level up. Once you build that confidence level up to a certain extent, you're not even looking at certain people. And it's not on some like, I feel like you are beneath me, but it's just like we not equally yoked. I done put the self-work in. I done put the work in to where I should never have to deal with nothing toxic again. Anything that I even senses that way is getting removed. No patience, no understanding, no nothing. I'm never going back to that again. That person that I was. I'm not them no more. So whatever we had, that shit is over with. But that's how the law of attraction works. So when you make those improvements, you begin to notice, damn, I got a lot more eligible people that are on a positive wavelength, people that actually have stuff going for themselves. I'm surrounded by a lot more of them these days than I was back when I was toxic and before I did the work. But it's all about doing the work. And, again, a lot of people just terrified to look in that mirror and accept the fact that you ain't worth nothing right now. You may have material things. You may look good. You may be in shape. You may have a lot of people in your DMs, but you're still not worth nothing. Because when you look in that mirror, like you can lie to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But when you look in that mirror and you don't believe it, your life is going to reflect that. And unfortunately, that's the case for a lot of people. And instead of doing that work, they'll jump into the next relationship and hope for different results. It was a wise man that once said, if you do the same thing over and over and over and over again and expect different results, that is a form of insanity, which means you're not all the way there in the mind. You're not where you need to be at. And as long as you are right there in that spot, all your relationships are going to end the same exact way. And it's not nobody's fault but who you see in that mirror. And that's the unfortunate reality. So, yes, I agree 1,000% in the laws of attraction.
Yeah, Trill, is one thing too. It's like you doing that self-improvement, you're going to do a lot of heavy lifting. And it's usually like when people give you compliments and you're not used to receiving them, or telling you good things that you're not used to hearing. It weighs heavy because you have to learn how to build yourself up to carry that.
I agree.
You gotta re-meet me. Big facts.
Hey, man. Like I said, I just want y'all to do better, man. There's so many people out there that just miss it constantly. And then, just run into the same type of situation over and over and over again. And then you begin to like, man, all men ain't nothing or all women ain't nothing. No, it's not them. It's you. And until you accept that challenge that Ronan is talking about, you're gonna repeat the same cycle over and over again. And it ain't no age limit on it. There's people 40, 50 years old still making the same mistakes and dating the same type of people that they was dating when they was 20. Get dogged the same way, ain't learned nothing, getting finessed with the same move over and over and over again because they refuse to accept accountability and do that work. That's how the law of attraction works. The energy you putting out, which is the laziness, which is the lack of ambition, the lack of wanting to improve, you're gonna get that same thing in return by the people that come into your life. Inconsistent, not valuing you, not considerate, sometimes opportunistic. That's the type of people you're gonna run into. But when you reach that level of confidence and just supreme self-worth and just self-being, and you just move different, you walk different, you engage in conversation different. There's certain things you don't even want to be around. It might have been comfortable before, but you don't even want to be around. And that we could take it away from relationships, friendships. It's certain people that you just gotta let go. And I'm speaking from already know. I'm speaking from personal experience. I had to let knee high niggas. We done been through all type of stuff. But I'm just on a different plane. I want a different result than what I seen from the old heads that was in our neighborhood growing up. I don't want to be standing on the block every day. I don't want to be in front of a liquor store on damn 69 or somewhere locked up or some bullshit. No, I want to go get some bread. I want to go get a bag. I want to take care of my family. Like I want to see all my boys win. And I can't do that if I'm out here with you all day. Now I can offer you the olive branch and all of that, but if you don't take it, I gotta distance myself. And that's hard. That's speaking to that heavy lifting that Ronan is doing. Because what comes with that? Survivor's remorse, guilt, all of those things, which is what makes people go back to try to, get back into that lifestyle and fall back into what's comfortable. But fact is that if you want something better, it's gonna have to get uncomfortable for a minute.
And you got family in there too. Because just because you blood related don't mean they can relate to you.
It's facts. It's facts.
I love how every time, Ronan, you speak, it's like poetry. It's like you reciting a poem.
Every time.
I'm honestly sick of it.
I did want to add on to what SB said because you made a good point. You made a really good point that I think people might have missed. And you know how the saying where they say curiosity kills the cat, when you were talking about intuition, because a lot of people, we all have that intuition, but we don't follow it, right? Because I think we're so curious. Like we could feel something's innately wrong. We know something's wrong with this person, but we're like, I can't quite put my finger on it. So I'm going to stick around and figure out what it is. Like they want to know so bad. They're so curious. Like, I know something's wrong with you, but I don't know what. So I'm going to wait it out in like a few weeks and months. Then I'm going to figure out exactly what's wrong with you. Then I'm going to leave. But it doesn't happen. Like they'll stay and then they'll stay and then they'll stay and they'll stay. And I'm speaking even from personal experience because I was courting with a man. And I was like, wow, everything I wanted, he seemed to be that on paper, right? But I just had this intuition, like it's something not right. I don't know what it is, but something's not right with him. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep talking to him though. So then months later, months of my life later, I found out that he had multiple children that I did not know about. Just all these kids. And I'm like, where did all these kids come from? Like, he had a rap sheet. He had all of these things. It was mind blowing. I'm like, I shouldn't have stayed to figure this out. You know what? I could have stayed a lot of time and energy and figure it out when my intuition was saying, leave. It don't matter why. You just need to go. You don't need to figure this out. And if I would have listened to my intuition, I would have saved me so much time and energy that was just wasted because I was so curious. So I agree with you. Yeah.
I agree with you. We do have the intuition, but we don't want to take accountability, or we're just infatuated by the person. Sometimes it's like you don't want to accept because you like the person too much. So you know something's wrong, but you don't do anything about it just because you like the person, and that's so wrong.
McDonald's ice cream machine.
I agree with you. I've been there and done it. Yeah.
That motherfucker
definitely been there.
They don't work. They don't want to use it.
They don't want to get it fixed.
They already cleaned it. That's what it is. They don't want
I think that all women.
clean it.
Yeah, I think all women and people in general have been in some type of similar situation because I've definitely been in that where I was like, something's, I don't know. I don't know what it is because it just seems so perfect.
No.
But, I definitely been there.
I think sometimes women feel that way. Like I said, your heart knows, but sometimes you question yourself because you feel like it may be you. You know how some women just don't feel deserving of or don't know how to be whole and happy. So you pay attention, but when nothing ever transpires, you're still saying, but my heart, and you just keep checking yourself because you're like, this really might be me. It might not be this man, it might be me. So sometimes we kind of get into it. We're not feeling exactly like what we think we should feel, and we may blame it on the other person when it really is not them. It could really be you. So it's like there's several ways a couple ways that you probably should look at that. But if you think there is actually something there, just not a notion, but there is something, like you said, children, that's a real something, that's a little different than a feeling, So it's just, I think as women, we should just preserve ourselves until we know.
We got to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we got to admit we're just not ready. We like to sit here and lie, like maybe I can get ready on the fly and whatnot. You already know that like, look, I'm not there yet. I still got work to do. I'm too busy picking these scabs instead of giving myself time to heal. When I'm ready, I'll know. I'm not going to sit here and lead and put these traumas on this person because they don't deserve it. And two, I don't want to blindside myself getting out there with someone just because I'm afraid to be alone.
That's the thing. That's definitely a thing.
That's a real thing. Being alone, women don't like to be alone. Right?
But neither do men. They want to definitely have somebody to
It's
call.
not just women, it's men too.
Men need to make sure they have somebody in their phone they can call.
Well,
even if it's just to smash, even if they don't even like her, they will still just to be around somebody.
Well, I'm saying,
can I ask a question? Because I've been wondering about this, and Trill, this is a little bit off, but I have to ask this question: can all men have Pookie tendencies?
Oh, I'm Pookie adjacent.
Who?
What does that mean?
What that mean?
What is that?
Means that he's a slightly evolved.
Not
Pookie,
Jason, because Jason's be on the cusp. They be on the cusp.
Mm. But to answer SB question, definitely. I think we all do. But I think we kind of develop it due to like adapting to the environment we in and what works in it. I think most dudes start off with genuine intentions, right? Because when you're a kid, like your mom is telling you, yeah, you want to treat these girls right. You want to be a one-woman man. You want to be nice to her. You want to be consistent. You want to be persistent, things of that nature. And then you leave the crib and realize that don't work. That's not getting me the results that I want. So now I got to look around and analyze the area. It's just like people starting platforms, right? When you get to YouTube, let me analyze and see what's getting the most views, what's getting traction, what type of thumbnails. Man, we had that same kind of epiphany when we outside and we realized, damn, everything my mama told me to do is making me look like a goofy out here. I'm getting looked over. But this dude right here, he doing the complete opposite and he getting all the women. So I need to develop some of those tendencies so I can finesse the system like I spoke about earlier and have a chance to at least get in front of her and then show her what my personality is and how my mama raised me. But fact is that I wouldn't even be able to get in front of her without adapting some of that Pookie finesse.
Right.
So that makes good sense. That makes sense to me because we're so often referring to Pookie and Ray Ray like it's just a small group of people, but they are responsible for so much. And I'm just like, that doesn't make sense.
No, and I get it, SB. The thing is like, too many people want to get access to everybody. Sometimes you got to access yourself. Sometimes you need that peace of mind and really get yourself right. Like when I'm going to present myself, I'm not going to go half-assed. I'm going to go out here. This is who I am. I'm solid. I might not be financially there, but the thing is, I got to be mentally and physically there. Mentally, the other stuff that can come by, but if I'm just going to sit here and just doing it just to have somebody there, you're not going to ruin yourself. You're going to ruin the lives of others, and that's irresponsible.
I agree.
That happens quite often. Often men are in relationships like they're physically there, but they're not mentally there. They've checked out of the relationship long time ago. They're there for the kids. It's cheaper to keep her, whatever the case may be. Comfort, convenience. but a good deal of the time, you know, men can be mentally checked out of the relationship for a longer time than women can. Women usually check out around the time I'm making my exit plan, but men check out having no plan to leave.
You know what I think it is too, Kayla? I think it's not spoken on enough. I think men fear being alone just as much as women do. Literally. Just as much, if not more, than women do.
Okay.
And it's because of what I've said in the past is that men are in love with our routine. We love our routine. We like to drive the same way to work every day. We like to eat the same 2 restaurants every day. And if it wasn't for women that's in our lives, we would do exactly that. We come home and play that game at the same time every day. We go to the same bar and watch the fight every time. Like men like routine. And our woman is a part of our routine. So when the idea or the thought of her not being there is terrifying. I mean, can he survive? Sure. But he's gonna have to develop a new routine. And a lot of men would rather stay in that relationship and be miserable than to say, sit her down and say, you know what, baby, this ain't gonna work. I'm gone. But instead, what we'll do is we'll start acting reckless to try to push her out of the relationship. So that way it could be her fault that it ended, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't gotta, break our routine ourselves. But yeah, men fear losing our relationship more than women. I'm willing to stand firmly on that. Men fear being alone more than women do. Yes.
Because we gotta eat that L. No matter what you put it, we look
And
at
y'all,
we're kind of
and
haunted.
y'all got to put in work to get a new one. I mean,
Yeah.
women, we just go outside. You know, men have to like start to learn to hunt again and start to learn how do I talk to women again, and what's the new you saying words that are not cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that does happen. I think like in the YouTube spaces, there's this, oh, the older man is so desirable. But anybody that's been with an older man, they actually know that you spend more time worrying about ailments, medications, sex drive goes down. I mean, there's a lot of negatives to it, even though he do got probably a little more money, but you're not like, I mean, to a young hot girl, you think, I don't know. Your wife will probably have your back more than any of these girls out in the streets were. That's all I'm saying. Even if you don't even like her, she probably will have your back more than what's out here.
But Taylor, it's not really the hunt, because if he's really was into that woman, it's that empty space. That's a very hard thing to feel, because he got to have time to filter that out. He really has to, because if he's jumping around and he can do all that stuff, but if she's still on the mind, you're just running around here just doing empty cardio, eating all these empty calories. You need time to heal up.
Well, hopefully he'll just fix it. They can fix it.
He needs to get a counselor. He needs to get a therapist.
Yeah, like man, and that's the thing I think is probably the thing that hit us like a ton of bricks is that when we actually single, we be thinking that, just because we got a chick around, man, I ain't gonna be alone. I ain't gotta be alone if I ain't got to. Like I can call any one of these chicks. But the fact is that like once you get done with the sex with her, you alone again. And she's laying in the bed next to you, and you still alone because y'all don't have that connection. Y'all don't have that bond that you and your wife had. Y'all don't have them inside jokes. Y'all don't have that, favorite show that y'all like to watch that you've been waiting on her to get home all day so you can fire that motherfucker up. Like y'all don't have that type of bond. This is your sex.
Snowfall. No snowfall.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't watching Snowfall together. You know what I mean? Like but yeah, so it's like it's at that point to where it's like, damn, like this is leaving a way bigger void than I thought. And that's why, men typically try to spin that block and get their woman back, right, wrong, or indifferent in terms of how it ended. But it's just like 10 of these chicks out here don't equal one of you when it comes to the bond that we had and what it was that you was providing to me from a intangible perspective. And sometimes it take a man to go run through that checklist to realize that. So
let me add that real quick, Trey, what you were saying earlier though. I feel like it's our mother's fault why women view men the way they do. Meaning like
Leave my mama out of this.
Real talk. When you were saying Trill,
Uh-uh.
like like for instance, my mom taught me everything as far as like how to treat a woman, right? But what she didn't tell me is everything she told me on how to treat a woman really ain't gonna grasp that till she in her 30s. Now I'm trying to bring all that into women that says 21, 22, 23-year olds. They looking the other way. They ain't trying to hear that. But what she not telling me is that, you know, the things that I'm telling you that girls like or girls look at as take serious in relationships, they not even really taking that serious until it's too late. After they had 2 or 3 kids, or they're 40 and they're single. Then now they're starting to look at those things my mom used to tell me. But they don't. That's the thing I feel like as parents, they don't tell their kids that, you know, the real part. Hey, at 20, everything I'm telling you, you take it for what it is, but they might not be taking that as serious until they get older. I feel like if guys have that mindset or know that in their 20s they won't get heartbroken as easily.
I think what they're not
Facts.
teaching us is who do we need to act this way. Like you are going to do these things for the person that appreciates you doing these things. But we think that we're going to do this and everybody's going to appreciate it, because I don't believe women go at, it doesn't matter what age she starts having, relationships, sexual relationships. She doesn't go thinking I'm going to be a hoe. No, women, most of the time, the person that they give their treasure or their virginity, they want to stay with that man.
Mm.
That's what we think. That's what women think. Like they want that person because, I mean, to me, like, and I don't know, probably is my country or the people I'm surrounded, but here is more like women want to get married with the first person that we're with. We fall in love. It's kind of like a very, very genuine love. I don't think it's love. It's just genuine. We don't know what it is.
It
But I
depends
don't
on
think
how
we
they
go
were
with the
taught.
mindset. We don't think we go out with the mindset that we're gonna play with men. I think it's that when we get hurt, we start looking at it differently and we allow that. But I'm saying it's like, as a man, I think that mother should say, you're gonna do these things with someone that appreciates you doing these things, because the moment that that woman has not been taught to appreciate those things,
Right.
you should be done with that.
But as a male though, we're making those first initial steps though. Like you said, we have to show y'all how much we care. You know what I'm saying? How much, you know what I'm saying? It's actions, not words. So if we putting in them actions that our parents taught us, and those actions aren't getting reciprocated, or we're not getting the reaction that we feel like we should be getting, then that's when we'd be like, all right, shoot, I ain't picking up the phone no more after a certain time, or I'm finna do these toxic traits because
Nice.
it's working for dude down the street. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm calling or I'm doing what I'm saying I'm gonna do, and now she like, okay, he said he'll call me at 8, and he actually called me at 8. Like, what?
That's
Versus somebody in their 30s, I'm actually gonna say, hey, I'm gonna pick you up at 8, or I'm gonna call you at 8. You might be more receptive to, okay, he actually called me. He actually said he was gonna do that. Versus you like, damn, this nigga too thirsty. Like, you know what I'm saying? That might be it kind of it fluctuates. But I do agree with you saying though. But in America, these girls ain't trying to wife who they
hell no.
Again, I just
first
think it
person.
depends on how you were raised and where you came from. I remember freshman year at Howard, all the girls, the freshman girls that were on scholarship lived in the upperclassmen dorm, and we all sat around and talked about, where our virginity situation happened. And, I was with my high school boyfriend for 2 years. I thought that was normal. It was not normal. There was girls telling me that they lost their virginity at 14 on top because that's what they thought they were supposed to do. And I said, who said that's what I was like? Who said that's what she's supposed to do? What you talking about?
Yeah.
So I was just like, I don't know where these people come from, but she literally was like, at 14, that's what I thought I was supposed to do. A girl that was living in Maryland. So I'm like, it just depends on where you come from and what is normal where you come from, because Jack and Jill girl, I thought me and my high school boyfriend were gonna be like,
Again, that's your parents.
like get married and stuff. And then I also think it's about who your parents tell you to target. Like Sayeda said, I mean, the girl that you're showing that effort to, you said the guy down the street's getting the results, but which girl is that? Is that the popular girl at school? Or is that the girl from your science class that's really nice? She might have glasses, but when she take them out, she's pretty cute.
Yeah. Some
That's
say
all of
81,
them.
some 82
And
though.
that
Yeah,
right,
that's all of them. I was
yeah,
just about to
that's
get to
all of
that.
them. Go ahead, oh.
Yeah, because I was gonna share my example, similar to Nigel's. When I was sophomore, I want to say in college, it happened like back to back in a sense. I'm trying to court these women, dating them, doing stuff nice for them, being a gentleman, being nice, being respectful, doing all the checklists that was taught by my mom, my grandmother, even my grandfather. He put me on game. Hey, just find you one woman, and you don't need to worry about nothing else. All of it feel the same, it look the same. You ain't got, this is literally what he's telling me, 17, 18. You ain't got to worry about none of that stuff. So I'm like, okay, cool. Find me a woman and settle down. And then I, think I found me a woman, and she's like, you seem like you're a little too perfect. You're just doing everything right. And I'm like, what? Crazy. So then, to like Nigel say, SB, so I get a little pookie in me. And I started being a little disrespectful. I start, stop answering texts and stuff. And now my shit is flooded. I'm like, these women are backwards. So yes, it's very true. It don't matter how the woman look. She can be, the hood is hood. She can be, super book smart. A lot of the women, for the most part, operate, the same. So it's something else you kind of got to give them for them to allow you to start doing that stuff, to look at you differently.
I'll tell you what it is, bro. It's that parents is not honest with their kids in terms of what it's going to take to get their attention. Parents giving you the advice for once y'all already in the relationship, and once y'all already done became an item. Yeah, you want to value them, you want to be considerate, you want to call them every day, you want to do this, but they don't give you that real about what's going to attract them. That real, that it's going to take some shallowness. It's going to take a little bit of toxicity to get their attention, and go about it this way. And then once you get her, then you can roll all of that sweet butterflies and rainbow shit out. But if you lead with the butterflies and rainbows, you are not gonna have the luck that you think you're gonna have, and that's the reality of the situation. Just like even today, we could bring that ratio to the day as adults. Most women want what, the top 10% of men, in terms of all of the stats that we give, right? In terms of, tell a woman to list her type. I want them 6, I want them 6 foot plus. I want them 100,000. I want them to have abs. I want them to have a little street, I'm saying, a little, just a little hood in them. I want them to be intellectual. I want them to be able to relate to me on a feminine, emotional level. I want them to do all of this. So when you get to land all of those idealistic traits out, that equates to about the top 1-2% of men. So that means that all women value that small select few the same way in high school. So we can't tie it to, the nerdy girl in science class. No, if the nerdy girl in science class got a chance to mess with Stephon, she jumping out the window to go take it. And she looking over Urkel goofy ass in the process. That's reality.
Yeah. So let me tell you why I said that, because for me, we didn't use Pookie and Ray Ray, but I've always thought that Pookie and Ray Ray was basically the young man or men that were like in the projects that had several kids, didn't care about working, just didn't care, very nonchalant, had no desire to do a whole lot. Women would take care of them, and they just were degenerates. I thought that's what Pookie was, right? But when it just kept, people kept saying it, I'm like, this not making sense, y'all. I mean, they call Derrick Jackson a Pookie. I'm like, wait a minute. No. And then I noticed that, like you just said, Trill, all women like this man with this edge on it, and you decide I got to have a little bit of that to have that edge. So I'm like, wait a minute. So is Pookie really the face of the community now, or
no? I think they meant Tyrone and Jason. I don't think they meant.
Never heard that before. Never heard Tyrone and Jason. But my thoughts are, I just thought that when you say something like that about a man, you're talking about a guy that's probably living, like I said, living in the projects, and there was just not a whole lot of expectations of that person. That's who I thought Pookie and Ray Ray was. But now I don't know why we call him men Pookie and Ray Ray, because that could be any man at any given time in any given situation. So why are we still,
I don't think so though. I really do think Pookie and Ray Rays are Pookie and Ray Rays. Maybe we're talking about, like I said, Tyrone and Jason's, men that are like average, that, they just be kind of on their deadbeat shit. Like they disrespectful, but they not like degenerate,
Yeah, Yeah, no. I think the Pookie and Ray Ray narrative, like just to dumb it down a little bit more, I think it speaks to selfishness.
Yeah.
More so than a lifestyle, right? Just like we talking about deadbeats, we talking about somebody that's gonna look out for me. I ain't being considerate. I'm not keeping my word because it's not convenient for me too. Like I'm gonna do what's convenient for me. I don't give a damn what effect that it has on everybody around me. I think that's more so what Pookie mentality is. Because even in these examples that we've been giving up here on this stage, that's the mindset that we had to adapt.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what's best for me. I don't care now. Yeah. I promised you I was gonna take you to the movies, but Tanya fine ass asked me, so I'm gonna take her instead. And oh well, get over it.
Yeah.
Right.
And you would think that type of behavior, that type of selfishness, that type of narcissism, even though I hate that word to get thrown around too much, but that type of narcissism and selfishness would run that woman away or run women away. But that brings them to you because now it's gonna feel exclusive to be with you, because you're just dismissing women left and right in an unapologetic way. And it's just like, well, if I could find a way to stick around, what does that say about me? I must be of high value if I can do that. And these ain't just regular ugly women that he turning away. These is attractive women. Some of them look better than I do. So if I can find a way to stick around in this man's life, it must mean that I'm somebody of importance or I'm somebody of status. So I'm going to shoot for that. That's the psychology behind it. And how I know, because men think the same way on the opposite end. Just like Kayla talking about that nerdy girl in science class. She might be dope as hell, funny as hell. She might be pretty just with a little tune up. She don't know how to dress, crooked ass glasses on her face, hair all over the place.
Her
But
glow up gonna be fire,
if you get her
though.
right, she could go from a 6 or 7 to a 9. But instead of doing that, we gonna go for that top cheerleader that every time we look at her, she look at us with a get away from me type of situation. Why? Because it's gonna mean more to get her. I'm gonna get more points for getting her than this nerdy girl in science who I can get at the drop of a dime whenever I want. It's more of a status statement to get that. And that's the psychology. So that's why I tell people all the time, it's all about leverage. Can you create the illusion of exclusivity? And people who master that tend to have success dating wise. But unfortunately, you got to adapt some Pookie-ish traits and some unapologeticness and some selfishness and some I'm going to do what's convenient for me. Don't give a damn what effects it has on everybody else in order to get those results. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
That's the game.
Okay, Krew, I got
So
two
then
things
if
for
you
you.
have to be exclusive, then you shouldn't have options.
No. I said create the illusion of exclusivity.
Just an illusion, okay.
Yes.
Of exclusivity. Wow.
Okay, so Trill, I got two things and I'm gonna stop. First thing is I cannot believe you used that word, that leverage. I just
Powerful.
could have said anything else. But the second thing was I am so glad that we are having this honest conversation because I think people need to hear it. Because again, when we talk about men that are selfish and don't want to take care of responsibilities, I think of a certain type of man. I don't equate that with all men who are being selfish at the moment or being selfish because of wanting to achieve something. That is a totally different man. Because if we look at it that way, there are only two type of men. We have a Pookie and a corny guy. And not everybody's going to go with the corny guy. So now everybody has to go with a Pookie, which doesn't make sense to me. So I'm so glad that you took time to have that conversation. And I know it helped somebody. It helped me.
And it's all love.
All I was going to say is I think that more equates to men when it comes to like going out, because men really are the ones that are pursuing. For me, I don't see how it's attractive to want to talk to a guy who you've seen dog other girls. He's probably gonna dog me too. I actually be attracted to the guys that I see.
You better get them.
Treating other girls nice.
That makes them more attractive.
Makes them more
Don't change them.
I like the ones that I see treating other girls nice because I'd be like, well, if he treat her nice, but I'm not attracted to the guy that's like disrespectful and blah 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 to all these girls and feel like I won something by getting with him. That's weird to me. I don't get that. I don't see why you wouldn't go for the guy that you see being nice to all the girls and be like, I want him to only be nice to me and play these girls dust.
That's beautiful.
Trill showed us a video about a month ago of a very good-looking young man. He has a channel. I don't know what it is, but a very good-looking young man, well-dressed. And he spoke and he said that he would be a gentleman, be treating women perfectly, but I don't want nothing for you and from you. And then when you start talking like you want something for me, I'm out of there. What would you call that?
Delusional.
I mean, no, honestly, what would you say about the guy? Because he said up front that this is how he maintains his life. Good looking man. He was gonna be. I think he said he was gonna take some girl over to his mom's house. I mean, he just said all the things right.
What?
You sure you know who I'm talking about? The video you showed up
she's
that was
talking about,
in the car.
Finesse.
Finesse.
Oh,
Yeah, finesse.
I didn't know his name was.
You talking
Finesse.
about that guy in the suit?
Yeah, him. He said everything correctly. He even said that he would treat the woman nice and they can have fun. And as long as she knew that he wasn't serious, they would be good. Now, I would say he was a womanizer. I wouldn't call him a pookie.
Well, see again, when we get to throwing around womanizer, like you could be, I feel like you can label somebody that if they kind of removing the woman's options away from them. But what he's saying is how I used to move. So I can't really complain about it. But I mean, I can't really take too much opposition to it. And the ideology behind it is that for one, I just like women. I like the presence of a woman, and I'm a gentleman naturally. So when I'm with you, I'm gonna be opening doors. We out to eat. I'm gonna be paying for it. If we kicking it, I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna be listening to what you're saying, actively listening, and I'm gonna be giving you dope ass feedback and dope ass conversation. But the disclaimer is gonna be at the top of it. But the thing about it is, just like in the scenario he gave, you can give him that disclaimer. But if you follow that with all of that dope ass behavior, and every time she around you, she have a dope ass time, amazing time, eventually she gonna forget that, or it's gonna be the back of her head, but she's not gonna care. I'm gonna try to hold on to this situation anyway. And what he's saying is, as soon as you start doing that, I'm gonna point to the disclaimer I gave at the top, and if you continue to do it, I'm out of there. And I don't really feel like that's womanizing because you had the option. I told you at the top, just like SB said earlier, I ain't looking for nothing serious right now, baby. I'm out here trying to build this Krew season platform, baby. I'm out here working this job. I'm trying to make all this money. I'm trying to stack up. I'm doing these, but I don't have time to put that type of energy and effort into a relationship right now. But you know, if you want to kick it, I'm here, and we're gonna have an amazing time every time. Why? Because I like women, and I'm just being a gentleman. But you have the option. I never took the option away from you. If you want to walk, I'm not gonna beg you to stay. I'm not gonna plead with you to stay. None of that. You can walk out the door right now, and we ain't never got to speak again. But the thing is when you present that option to women, their mind works in reverse. So it should be, okay, well, we ain't on the same page. I like him a lot.
Right.
I want a relationship. And he's saying he don't want that. Let me run the other way. But women mind don't work like that.
But that's just the difference between like a marriage-minded woman and a woman who's not there yet. Honestly, because there are a lot of women who will accept that. And I think they're not ready. They may verbally say they're ready, but subconsciously they're not ready for what they want or what they're claiming they want, marriage, because then they wouldn't choose that man. And I know from experience, because if a man said that to me, I'm not going with it. I'm not even wasting my time.
I'm not even talking to you anymore. I don't know if they're not marriage minded, but they don't have their self-worth, their self-value together, that they're willing to compromise any of their time for somebody that's not on the same page. There's no reason to waste any. You're willing to compromise and spend any time because he's cool.
Yes, anytime.
And then there's also women that grew up in unfortunate situations, and they don't see the difference between somebody being nice and somebody actually being intentional. Because I've had conversations with women, and I've been criticized for that, for people for saying, "Oh, he did it," and I was like, "That's not special." And they'd be like, "What do you mean?" Blah blah blah. I said, "That's not special. Like anybody can do that." Like, but if they've never been treated nice or they've never been treated that way, they're thinking like, "Oh my God." And now I'm looking like I'm crazy for being like, "Girl, that don't mean like you."
But that also it creates a problem because nowadays women are not appreciating what is expected from men. So they are just thinking that it's expected, and because it's expected and because it's what they're supposed to do, they are not appreciating that.
I can expect it and be appreciative.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know women can do that, but I'm saying women out there are literally expecting a lot from men and not appreciating that just because it's expected. And just whatever is extra special, that's what they are appreciating.
No, they're saying everything I'm gonna make him
whatever is on a daily basis thing. They're not appreciating that.
That boy O said it a while back, man. He said the bar is so low that I was going on dates with women and opening her car door, and she was fascinated. I was taking her to drive-throughs, paying for it,
Man,
and she was
Okay, he
fascinated.
added that. He added that.
Just all that stuff. Like he said
Wait
he
a
was
minute.
doing bare minimum. He was,
What you mean,
he
like
was doing
McDonald's?
bare minimum. He was texting you at the end of the night to make sure that she got home. And she just fascinated. That's just how low the bar is out here. So can you blame the man? Can you call the
Drive-through.
man a womanizer because the bar is low and I'm just doing general gentleman type activity?
I'm not calling you a womanizer. Me, I'm just trying to figure out. I wouldn't call
Right.
y'all pookies. I
No.
wouldn't say that. That's
Well,
not.
Like I said, more Tyrone Jason type, like a flake. He's flaky.
But a lot of women like to find one thing they like about a dude, and they feel like they can change the rest of them.
Exactly. That's what. There you go. Nigel said it. They think they can change him.
There's a trait relate to it that stick out that I feel like I can fuck with, and all the other bullshit I feel like I could change over time. And that be the biggest mistake, because niggas ain't gonna change, but it's the your mindset of thinking that you can change it is what's making you feel like you can stick, he can stick around as long as he is. You know what I'm saying?
You think men can't change, or you think that they're not going to change for a woman? Because, you know, people will change, but it's only if they want to. You're not going to make nobody change, but if they want to do something, then they'll do it. If he wanted to, he would, but he didn't.
I think that men are gonna pay the price
That's
that
it.
you put on that car.
yes.
That's what men are gonna do.
Mm.
It don't matter that it's a brand new car, fresh off the lot. It don't matter that it got 6 miles on it. Don't matter that it's a brand new Benz and we know it's $100,000. If you put a $20 price tag on it,
You don't get
a
it.
man is gonna pay $20 and not a penny more. I don't give a damn what it's really worth. So again, as women, and that's where accountability got to come in at. Because they in the chat asking, well, why is the bar so low? The bar is so low because y'all are accepting of just anything, any bit of effort, and you ready to open your legs to this man.
Yeah.
And just like Finesse said in the video, I told you at the top of this, baby, this ain't that. But you want it anyway. So you're gonna invite him over, or you gonna come over. Like SB said, you gonna jump to answer that 3 a.m. call after he get out the club, smoking hookah all night and then drinking Casamigos.
Ain't text
And
you
come-
all day.
All
And
day.
hit you all
Ain't
day.
hit you all day.
And he can still pull up
Hmm.
and rearrange your spinal cord.
Yep.
The bar is low because y'all refuse to raise it. And the minute y'all raise it, you're gonna see different behavior out of these men. But as long as it's a $20 price tag on that brand new Benz,
It's a wrap.
we paying the $20.
That's why I
That's the
refer.
reality.
I
why
do
You got killed
support.
for that.
Yeah.
I do support
Yeah.
what SB was saying about sex toys, because women need to be able to do what they need to do on their own accord and not need a man.
It's midnight.
Because y'all act like women are just, you act like women just want to be disrespected. No, women are sexual beings. I have seen things in the group chat about bitches really needing dick bad. Okay.
We know.
So-
we know.
So I think that we need to start promoting healthy, safe sex toys so that women can avoid doing things that they know that they don't want to do, but they're trying to, you know.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes there's this lady at work where I think she whatever it takes, she need to get something because she is so miserable.
More
Yeah,
thread.
You know
I
what?
don't remember
I agree
exactly
with
what I
Kayla.
said about sex toys, but
I
I
agree
agree with yourself. Maybe.
I agree with Kayla, because when you do that and you go on a date, you're not desperate. Like, that's out of your mind. So bust a few before you go out.
Oh my God.
Right.
It's 12
Yeah,
o'clock.
she's right. She's absolutely correct.
It's 12. It's after
But see,
12. It's
that
She's
work for y'all.
absolutely correct. It's
That work for y'all.
necessary.
It worked
But
for
look
y'all.
though, I just got one question. One question. And if somebody can answer this for me, then I'll drop it forever. Right? If y'all are that willing to engage with a sex toy,
Come on.
why not give that man in the friend zone that you're not that attracted to that same role? Because he's actually good for you. He has integrity. He has all these things, but he just missing that edge, and he missing that thing that just makes you. But that sex toy is also missing all of that edge and that swagger and that aura that the man that you won't have, but you still use it anyway. So why can't y'all get that man in the friend zone? That's a 6, enough for 6.5.
Is he a
But
6? Is
he
it a
don't-
6?
I mean, you know, hey, it
Real.
depends. But look though,
Because it'd be a 4 and y'all call it 6.
I'm
but,
gonna tell you
but look
why.
though, and he gonna be super motivated because you gave him the opportunity. So he's coming through there laying grade A+.
Yeah, and you ain't
Like-
got on a charger.
Get that
Wait
man
a minute.
chance.
Hold on. Listen.
Unfortunately, this is true. Yeah.
Listen,
No,
True.
get
I
it.
don't
You're
even know. I
asking
don't know
women to
exactly.
preserve, and then you're asking them.
There
to
you go. Preserve.
Like, I
I
don't
don't know
get
what
it.
I said
Them
about
type get low key
toys, though.
obsessed with you, and then they want to be in a relationship, and then
The toy comes with no emotions, but I don't remember exactly what I said about it. But women should not be bonding with men that are not or that don't have good intentions for them. And those intentions for me would be to be married. That's why you don't go with the friend zone guy. I don't remember exactly what I said about the toy, but if it keeps you, let it keep you.
I love it.
But
some
that
don't
man,
have
that
to
man-
because
that man has great intentions for you, SB, and that's
To
what we're
marry
not
you?
gonna leave out.
The
You
friend
just
zone?
don't want him,
The friend
and that's
zone.
why you put him
Yeah.
in the friend zone. But that man has great intentions. He'll walk down that aisle tomorrow if you agree to it.
But we
you don't
already
like
said
him
But
we
that
am I
don't
much.
gonna have to
friend
turn
zone
the
guy.
lights off in order to?
Wow.
You
The
gonna, the lights
We
gonna be
already
cut off
said we
when
don't want
you
the friend
using
zone
that toy in the bedroom too, ain't it?
No.
You ain't gonna be looking that toy in the eyes.
That should be the car going.
So are they gonna make male robots too? I know
They already got him.
They already got them.
male.
They
No
already
warm.
got them, and they warm and they pulsate as well.
Ass
Hey,
blaster
Lord, did you just
3000.
say warm?
Warm.
I seen it on Instagram.
Hey,
They
I've
got a
seen
whole big old booty with the hole.
She
Nah,
said they
I'm
warm and
cool.
they pulsate.
They're warm and they pulsate.
I like mine on
I
fat.
seen it on Instagram.
Hey, I'm
It
big old
is
fashioned.
after 12 o'clock.
They about to put y'all out of business.
Yeah.
All right,
Listen,
man.
we definitely gonna be out of business because have you seen those lady robots? They are beautiful.
They-
I'm good. I'm good.
This word is
I've
gonna be
seen some of
cold,
those.
cold, Nigel.
Those different type of lips that be doing. Yeah.
Mhm. And some of them got attitudes. So look,
What? Wait, attitude.
yeah,
Nope.
they
They
got
got
Like
personality
personality types.
yeah, they teaching them. They teaching them how personalities. One, I can't remember her name, but he put his hand in her face and she moved it. I'm like, oh my god. So you're
Okay,
back
now
now.
that's a little scary. That's
Hey,
a little scary, and that remind me of that movie where that man ran away with that robot, thinking it was a real person,
mm.
and said, "We're meant to be together."
They are programming them. They are.
That is insane. All right, man. We're gonna pay some bills real quick, then we're gonna get to
That's weird.
well, we got 2 more questions, but one of them
Very.
gonna be quick, and then we're gonna get to the last. We're gonna pay a couple bills real quick, man. My boy Joe, man, I forgot to get to your super chat before. I ain't forget about you, big dog. I went and found it. To pick the final one out of the 2 in the scenario that we gave earlier. He said I like to go on long road trips to watch a game, shop and dine, etc. This lets me know about our finances, shopping habits, empathy, flatulence issues.
What?
So he using that to get to make his final decision on the last 2 that's left from the roster. He's not gonna find about a
Understood.
flatulence
I
issues.
guess
Is
that might
crazy.
be important, but
She might be a little gassy.
Little gas.
Wow! Wow!
Boy,
Is
Joe
she
back,
gonna,
yeah,
is
man.
she gonna go to the restroom or she gonna do it in front of you? You know, that's
Nah, I'm gonna just roll the window down. He said we on a road trip. You just
That don't work all the time.
Put it
a
on
long-ass
down.
ride on road trip.
turn the
Hell
music up.
Turn the music up is crazy.
Turn the
Nah,
music
smell
up.
angry.
Put the window down.
You smell angry.
Hell no. Jeffrey says, Law of Attraction 101. Don't be treating yourself like you're a biological vending machine with your time. If people see you as a convenience store.
Yes.
Damn, hell of an analogy.
damn,
Joe,
read the
again, was
book
20.
around
Wait, I was about to say they both sound pretty bad to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about it. I just, I wasn't sure. But I mean, I get what he was trying to say, though.
Yeah.
He say, true that I lost a great relationship because of NBA and NFL. I value sports more than spending time with her. Other customers, though. We own the bar since drinks and food were automatic without menus. I have changed now.
It's accountability.
Salute to growth.
Yeah.
Like to see it. Jeffrey again say you're right, Kayla. You can't change those who aren't willing to change themselves. That is a fact. All right. The next question, man, we're gonna get into. Make sure y'all tap that like button if y'all enjoying the conversation, man. How much blame does the person deserve for the caliber of options presenting themselves to them?
Mm.
How much of the blame do you deserve? We hear a lot of women say, man, I ain't got that. I got all these dudes in my DMs. They ain't worth nothing for real. Or you got dudes, yeah, I got a lot of chicks, but I ain't want to take none of them serious. How much is that person to blame for the array of options that are being presented to them?
100%. Because you gave them a stage to perform on. So they showed you what they were. You made excuses and you extended their time past what they need to be. So if you want to, make all those excuses and everything like that, you got to own the consequences. So I say 100%.
What consequences?
Of you choosing bad people.
They just get cut off. I'm confused on like what consequences?
Well, if you look at it, it's like if you start seeing a similar pattern, like certain people, a certain type, it's on you to change that. Because
I can't change people that come in my DMs. I just don't respond.
Well, yes, you can.
But you can change your type though.
You change your type.
I don't have a type. They all come.
Oh wow.
I would say about 90% because 10% of the men or women, whatever, they're gonna just shoot their shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But 90% is definitely we're responsible for it. So I understand that part. But you're gonna have some that's gonna be like, I'm gonna work this out. There are some people that are super confident and they're gonna shoot their shot, whether whether it works or not. They're definitely gonna make the attempts.
But you got on the responsibility entertaining it.
So. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Is that a bad thing though? We talking like having options is a bad thing though. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm confused about.
I mean, so going back to what I said earlier, based on the word options and not prospects. By this time, I have already filtered these people, narrow to my options, so my options are not too many. I am looking at it from that that perspective. So if I don't have it's 100% me because I picked those options. Like I have two options here. Those are the two people that I say, you know what? These are potential. They have potential. I am looking at the potential in these people. And the potential is not the reality. It's something that I am seeing in them. So it's me looking at that. But if it's prospects, like Kayla said, it's people coming in my DMs. I have no say so on that. I agree. Like we cannot control who approaches or the way they approach us. Like we can control that, but I can't control who comes into my life and who am I dealing with. That I can definitely control. I'm not going to tolerate many things. So based on that, I think I would say 90%, 95%. Because some people are still shady. They can still do things to manipulate the situation. So, but it's my job to, keep my eyes open on that. That's it.
All right. Wait, everybody went? Oh, Balance. Go ahead, Balance. What's your thoughts on it? How much blame?
I was in my head thinking about the word blame. I would just change that word to accountability. You need to take full accountability for the way you live your life, because the way you live your life is going to be who you attract. So if a man, for example, has 3 different baby moms and 3 different children, and he's like, I want to have a nuclear family with you, I'm going to be like,
I'm sorry.
He's like, you're the caliber of woman that I desire at this point in my life. I'm like,
right.
We can delete the last 20 years of what you did and how you lived. Like, I'm not attracted to you because obviously we're living different lives. So he could say, oh, well now you're what I want. Yeah, but you're not what I desire. So is different. I'm up here and you're here, and we're never gonna be this again because of the options that you make for yourself. So it's like there's things you do in life that goes on both sides. Let me just say that. And I'm saying that to make a point of there's things in life that you do that you can't take back. And I know we don't like talking about that there are things in life you do you cannot take back, and you have to be accountable for those things. And sometimes accountability comes in the form of, what are my options now? It changes. It changes. You can't get up here when you're not at that level. So we just have to be realistic about it, men and women alike. Certain things you're not. I'm trying to say it in a nice way. Certain things you're just not going to get anymore. So I think you have to be realistic about that. And I think a lot of people are realistic, especially being on these panels and talking to so many different types of people, men and women alike. They're like, well, I deserve this and desire this. You desire something, okay, but you can't delete your last 20 years. I don't know. It looks like my internet's spinning, so I'm stopping.
But what if it's an Eddie Murphy type or a Nick Cannon type?
What? Go ahead.
I mean, like with the several kids, like, you know what I mean? Like, what if
I'm gonna answer that.
Like regular guys, but I'm talking about like of that type, meaning of age, mature, not irresponsible per se, but have several kids.
I'm gonna answer that, SB, because like a Nick Cannon, he has a lot of money, right? So I think
not that much.
His money, he has a lot of money. So I think if we're talking about compared to us, he has a lot of money. So for me,
for all them kids though,
still, even with all those kids. So for me, it wouldn't work because I'm a woman who desires a nuclear family personally. But there's still a lot of women that would still work for.
Okay, so Nick doesn't want to be married, but Eddie is married, right? Isn't Eddie married? Yeah. So Eddie is married and he has several kids too.
Wait,
so
who's he married to?
He has a Caucasian wife, I believe.
Oh.
He's been married.
He did get remarried after Nicole. He did.
Oh.
Yeah, I wouldn't look Eddie Murphy's way personally, but I'm sure there are a lot of women that would. So.
Not him per se, but I'm just saying like type, meaning like a man that is established, you know.
Older than my dad? No.
Oh, I don't know about that part.
No, I'm just personally.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. I don't care if you're a billionaire. I'm just not interested. Billionaires go missing every day now, so I don't even want to be involved. That's just me. That's just
lying. Man, I think it's 100%. 100% on you. And this is why. I feel like, I think that a lot of people, regardless of how innocent they try to portray themselves, people are aware of what's going to get some attention, right? So you may have, let's use a woman for example. You have a woman that's, on the outside, she's wholesome, and even in the pictures and certain things that she may post, she may be wholesome, whatever the case may be. But even in some of those pictures, she gonna angle it a certain way so you can see a little bit of the ass. Like she gonna have a little bit of cleavage coming out, just showing just a little bit, a little thirst trap here and there. Not nothing too flagrant, not nothing too blatant. She at the gym, she got the phone real close to her while she doing the squats. Like just little things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you're doing. We're not going to sit here and play like, I'm just recording the workout. Yeah, you are. But you're also trying to show that ass off. So when you're doing things like that, that's going to attract a certain type of man. Because even if, 80% of the time, a wholesome image is presented, as soon as he see something like that to where you turn into the sideways and you got that little leg bent, how y'all do the arch the ass. So you got the leg bent. Different things like that. He gonna see a crack in the door, and he gonna be, what? Let me go ahead and shoot at him. And I'm talking about this is the man with zero, with no good intentions. I'm coming here to try to smash and get out the way, right? But you are aware of the traps that y'all be doing, and a lot of y'all be doing them. Y'all never admit to it, but y'all know deep down. I posted it this way. I posed this way. I took the video this way. I had it at this angle. So I can get a certain amount. Look.
Yes, you look good, mama.
Right there. See, so again, lean into it. Accept it. It's okay. That's why I say 100% of the people, 100% of the options is your fault. Because even if, those type of dudes are shooting at you, you did something to provoke it. It might have been something subtle. Because we as men, we know good and goddamn well, we're going to approach different women different ways. Or we're not going to approach some women at all. Because we can look at it and say, okay, yeah, this is going to be way too much work. Nope. Let me go find something. I'm talking about men with bad intentions, men that's coming in here just to get that ass and get out the way. It's certain women we can look at and we can be like, yeah, nah, she a little too deep into the church. She in there every day, like reading the Bible every day. She posting Bible scriptures every day, not one thirst trap, turtleneck, ankle length dresses. She ain't showing nobody off. I'm just like, we can't get a little bit. You don't show a little bit of something.
Those be the worst ones,
right? But
you don't know that.
I was just thinking that OT. I was thinking about somebody specific too.
But on the outside, you wouldn't think that.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah,
you gotta know to know. You see what I'm saying? But if I'm just on the outside looking in and I'm scrolling your page and it ain't no thirst traps, nothing thirst trappish at all, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this game. Like, there's gonna be a little too much, especially when we got this girl right here with that, ass arch pose. This gonna be a little easier. So let me go in and shoot my shot at that, and then boom, you know what I'm saying? So that's the mindset. So you are a bit responsible, and it's the same for men. Just real quick, because dudes love posting their cars. Love posting they tattooed on with the rollie in the front. You got dudes that on panels like this with the rollie showing. Like, all of that is not by accident. That's not.
Yeah, we like that.
That's not just because you just like the watch. No, you know that women like certain things, certain material things that's gonna point to something else. So let me accentuate it. But with that, you can't complain about the gold diggers that it attract as well. You can't complain about the women that's coming in to use you for your money as well. You advertised it. You provoked it. It might have been slight, but you provoked it. And that's why you're responsible for 100% for the options available to you. I've rest my case. No further questions, Your Honor.
Hello.
No, you didn't.
I do not agree with that. I think that I don't think you're an option just because you're shooting your shot at me. You're not an option just because you're shooting your shot. The only people who are options are the people who are making my basket available for you to get in and me actually get to know you. You are not an option just because you came in my DM. People in my DM, you are not an option. Okay. Just because you slide in there does not make you an option because you think I look good in my pictures. It just doesn't, because they get straight ignored. It's who you let in, who you talk to, get to know, and then who you keep talking to after that and get personal with. The people you getting personal with, that's a true option to me.
But you know what? I gotta agree with there are some who are on the other side of camouflage. They make it subtle. They be cool. You talk to them. Them be the ones that sit there and baptize your balls. I know.
We don't need visuals, Ronan. That's not what we're here for.
Yes, we do.
No,
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. After 12 o'clock, it's on.
It's 12 o'clock.
I will say, like, I understand sometimes though. Like, if a man is working hard and he wants to show off his little house that he, took all this time to buy, I understand. I work hard in the gym. Sometimes I want to show people as an inspiration. I'm not naked, but I want to show people as an inspiration. You too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question about the girl. So the little take
you too can be healthy,
and you have the calf muscle flaring out with a hint of sweat there. Like, come on.
You too can be fit.
That's like I'm saying. Though, who you inspiring? Like, you inspire other women, or you inspire
the women?
The women who think that they can't do it. The women who are
exactly. The women be in my DMs all the time, telling me I'm an inspiration.
That's lateral.
Know what you really doing. You're inspiring.
Lateral, intentional. No.
I mean, let's be honest, you're only gonna have it for so long. I mean, get some pictures before you lose it. Some pictures.
So are you getting the pictures before you sweat or after?
No,
well, the glisten.
I'm not sweating in my pictures. I don't know what pictures Ronan.
Oh, but wait a minute.
Mine are post. I mean, your muscles pop out more after.
I thought you said you
Here's a little trick though, SB. Sometimes they don't actually sweat. They do have a little water bottle and look like they sweat.
Ronan, really?
Yes, I'm in the gym. I see that. They're in there and they have that calf muscle flaring out, or they're at that pull down machine, at a little bicep there. They see a little titty right there. Come on, stop it.
I don't know about that.
The balancing act, balancing code. I'm sorry, this has nothing to do with you, but that sounds like BBL reveal to me. That don't sound like real workout. I'm not talking about you because I saw your picture. It was nice, but I think women go to the gym and don't sweat and do the little water thing, and they
Yes.
already had the surgery.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
A lot of them do not.
Some of
work
us
out.
work hard.
They go in there, set up their camera, take a few pictures, do a couple squats, and they dip.
that's true.
And
But it works.
Some of us are athletes and do like to sweat, especially
And
ones that are single. It's a good place to let out frustration.
No, some of them sit there, go to the gym to take selfies. They take their little boy shorts and have that monkey.
No, I know. I've seen girls in there just sitting around,
Just hanging.
but there are some girls in there working out for real too. And so a lot of days I don't post because I'll be looking
A
crazy.
big meaty boy.
There you go. See, that's what that would be real inspiration.
My head be wrapped up. I'm looking crazy. I don't even post nothing.
That's inspiration. That is some
I have those
inspiration.
too. I'm just saying the girls that have the BBLs, they get the attention they desire. They get the results they want. So,
But we see it. We be in the gym, we see it.
Yeah, we'd be like, what the hell she got on?
But we definitely.
You see Nas though, wouldn't
That's the wrong ass over there, boy. She got the. She coulda went
So since we're on
2,000 down.
fitness, really quick, OT, what do you think about those big classes of people that do like that, like fitness dance and like step on the
the step.
yeah? What do you think about those classes and the ladies that go to those classes?
Awesome.
Good.
What I think about the ladies that go to the classes? I mean, they just getting a workout in. It's just they're going in a sweat.
Okay,
Why are you saying that, Kayla?
Now,
I was just asking.
She leading the witness.
now it's evolving.
No,
you
I don't
know?
go to any. I've been thinking about it, but they be wearing some that everybody be it'll be like a fashion show in there.
Sometimes, yes. No, some of them do. Some of them do. You ain't
No,
lying.
it's not just you wearing the fitness clothes. It's good to do your thing, but it's the intent. Because if you're going there for a photo shoot, a lot of them be real extra, especially using machines where they having it strategically placed and you're seeing the print all there. Like, come on, stop.
But with them classes too, like a lot of them know honestly.
Who you be fouling, Ronan?
Especially with the classes,
I be in the
like
gym.
it's like a little mini community. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll help you get set up a lot of times. They'll, is this your first time here? A lot of times they be friendly because that's what they do. That's their environment. So they'll know off the bat if you've been in there or not. But yeah, it's fun once you get with somebody and get a little group together.
They be working out hard, look like to me. They be going at it fast.
Yeah, that Mika girl in Atlanta, her classes look kind of
See
hard.
that Martin episode?
Yeah.
That's a classic, dog. That's a classic.
Be where it's at.
Straight up. But all right, man. We gonna hold on. Did everybody get the answer? I think everybody answered.
Yeah. No, I answered already.
I didn't answer directly. I think I was going to say probably like 80 to 90%.
Okay. I like it. Accountability is a beautiful thing. Jesus Christ, it is. All right. Last question of the night. If we had to give any type of advice, we had to advise someone on how to improve the options that are presenting themselves to them. We done all been there, man, to where we'd have been attracting a bit of toxicity. That's why we laid the foundation like we always do. We got to speaking about, man, yeah, back in the day, I was attracting the wrong types, man, but that's because I wasn't where I needed to be. What's some of the steps y'all took to get where y'all need to be to attract the caliber of options that y'all attracting today in comparison to back then?
Well, I'm gonna go first. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I'm gonna let you go first because I want this. I'm being a little long-winded.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to be because I'm back then. I'm a back then person. But the accountability is it. I mean, that's the number one answer. When you're accountable, no one can't knock you off your square. You've accounted for everything you've done wrong. You actually came to the realization what part you played in it. You're not blaming anybody for anything anymore. You ain't got to say that man that got you pregnant or that man you laid with. You can just say, I own it. That man I chose to sleep with. So then you can be aware of all the decisions and you know that man you don't want anymore. So it just empowers you. So accountability is it. And then it adds value back to you because you be like, damn, why did I sleep with him? And then now you won't do it again. So it's all about the accountability.
You knew why you slept with him. You just don't got no self-control.
Oh, wow.
I agree with.
Wow.
I need to ask myself, why did I sleep? Girl.
No, okay. So are you saying that there are not some men right now that you might have slept with and be like, damn, why did I shouldn't have? You have no men that you second guess. Like, why did you do it?
I think they're
You only second guessing it if the sex wasn't good.
No, that's not true. It's not true.
It's not.
No. Sex could have been great, but you still ask yourself, why did I do that? Why did I waste my time? I should have known better. All of that.
If it's good, you don't ask them.
I mean, good is cool, but
I agree with SB. I also think that being intentional matters and straightforward with the people that you're surrounded by. Like whoever you're talking to, let them know what you want, willing to tolerate as well. And make sure that your intentions are clear. Because when you don't even know what you want, how do you expect people to treat you and know, like, okay, I want a relationship, but you don't even know if that's what you want. So, like, being on the right path intentionally, I think it is very important as well.
So improving your options, are we saying that like how to get more options or how to
How to improve the caliber of the options that are presenting themselves to you, the quality of them.
I think as a male though, I think first is focusing on yourself. Because a lot of us already know that if the more that we elevate financially, the more options, I'm gonna say the more options you have. But at the same time, though, I feel like if you focus on yourself, a lot of the shit that you're looking for is gonna probably be fall in your lap, honestly. Especially if you're going about it the right way. Like for me personally, I feel like I got a plan for my life already. I feel like I am doing well at my age, and I feel like the more I get in depth to who I am and what I'm trying to accomplish, the woman that I am trying to attract is going to come around. I feel like they're always going to be there. They might not be in my age group; they might be a little bit younger, but it's still the maturity level and what I'm looking for. I feel like will be there because of how I'm carrying myself and how I am, what I'm doing every day to try to better my life. And I feel like, with guys, we always say that. I always tell, guys always know that because our OGs told us just like, just focus on yourself. If you handle the business, the girls gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like if you handling that, if you going in there with that mindset, your options that you have is gonna reflect what you got going on in your life though, always.
I'm gonna go. I will say one, put yourself first. Do all the self work that you need to do, whether it's financially, physically, just anything you can improve yourself to expand your pool. I would definitely advise that. And two, as a man, this is for the fellas, do not chase. They're gonna come to you. Once you solid and you're doing what you need to do, you don't have to chase after these women. The right one, y'all gonna meet each other, right in the middle where y'all need to be. Then you're gonna have to, worry about doing this for and that for, climbing over this 100-foot fence and just doing the extra and above and beyond all the time. Like the right woman not gonna make you go through all that. She gonna meet you where you are, and y'all gonna grow and progress together.
And go to the gym, man. Go to the gym. You might find somebody at the gym, man.
I've been preaching this since 2009, and people laugh and they be saying I'm funny or the gym ain't nothing. And all right, don't listen to me. I'm trying to tell you, there's some sleepers in there.
No, I know it works. I know it works.
People in there.
And there'll be a lot of them ladies be at the boot camps. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would say, if I had to advise someone, I would probably say increase your expectations. And that would be the first thing. And then the second thing would be to quickly and efficiently remove people out of your life who aren't options. We take up a lot, especially women, we take up a lot of emotional energy with people that we know are not God said go. And we still talk to them, we still entertain, we still try to see, and they're taking up space where someone who's actually a viable option could be. And sometimes you may miss a viable option because you're emotionally caught up with someone who's not. So quickly and efficiently be decisive and remove those people in order to keep an open doorway.
I like it. I like it. I would say, man, got to get a little more boozy, man. Man got to have a little bit
She
more
bad and
refinement,
bougie.
man.
Got yeah, right.
Man,
You
women
understand me? Like it should be. You know how you like out hiking or something, and you like, you know, you have me walk by some mountains, like you look at the top of the mountain, like, damn, I wonder how it would be to get up there. That's how women need to look at you. And the fact is that a lot of men
Don't look like that.
are not as selective as we should be with where we give our time, our energy, and our effort. I done spoke on this before. Men, like we know the difference between a quality woman and a woman that we shouldn't be nowhere near, but we'll still give both of them sex. We'll still give both of them time. We'll still give both of them energy. That got to stop. We need to give the ones of quality time only, and the ones that's beneath us. Let's call it what it is. I'm gonna jump on the ledge and say it. Beneath us need to be dismissed immediately. Need to be turned away. We got to get a little more bougie, baby. You are not in my class. With all due respect, and keep it pushing. And when you carry yourself like that, then you know you begin to send a message to where certain women just know not to even play with you, and the quality women, more importantly, are gonna see that he ain't for everybody in the streets. He actually is a bit picky in the type of women that he chooses. So now the quality women are gonna be more intrigued as to, like, you know, damn, okay, so this is impressive, especially for most men who have the money and who have the options, and they just running through the options. That's what they used to seeing, but you know, they ain't used to seeing a dude that's have an amazing looking ass woman and he look her dead in the eyes and say, no, I'm good, because we not on the same level. We not equally yoked. You not where I'm at. Men got to get more bougie. Fact is, we not bougie enough.
I
We give
agree.
way too much energy to women who don't deserve it.
I agree.
Way
And
too
then we
much.
You
expect quality
swear.
women to take us seriously. It don't work like that. If you want to improve your options, get rid of the riff-raff, man, and spend that time on a quality woman.
That sounds good, Trill. And they swear these girls be beneath them, but somehow they still begin beneath them.
I mean, they don't get beneath me.
Cut them off. Cut them off.
I like that one.
I'm just saying.
That was slick. I would advise number one, first forgive yourself. Because too many people who want to bring that nonsense to a relationship, and then it's like when you start with a clean slate, you have a bad habit of putting an ex's head on a new situation, and you wonder why you repeat the cycle. The other part is, and shout out to O for saying it, the price of the motherfucking brick should go up. Stop with the whole thing. Well, I'm just gonna have somebody to be having somebody. If you're talking about raising the bar for your standards, if you're talking about going to the gym, you're talking about getting that therapy, you're talking about eating right, moving right, looking the part, your counterpart cannot be in the clearance bin. Cannot. So, and the thing is, and for guys especially, you got to exercise dignity and discipline. Because what's the point of being at the top of the mountain and you're going into the valley messing with these hatchlings? It's not worth it. And the last part is, like, when it comes to it, stay committed to the process. That means isolating yourself sometimes to find yourself. There's a little too much background noise for the distraction. Like, you know what? I just need to get on these. No, you don't. Sometimes you need to sit down and face yourself. That's where adversity teaches you, look, if you can't beat the bitch within yourself, you're going to be life's whore when it's done. So if you're going to be that man, stand on it. Stand on a sound pillar. And not just for yourself. Be that pillar around a solid group of pillars, of friends that'll keep you accountable. Quality over quantity. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, well said, Ronan. I'm just going to add on to what you said, because you just made some really valid points right there. All of those things work on your emotional, spiritual, and physical health. You should be eating better, going to the gym, of course, drinking your water, taking your herbs, whatever it is, but also reading books. Like we skip that a lot. Like you should be educating yourself. Self-education is a really big deal. But I want to tell you guys a quick story because we were talking about tests, right, Trill? So a man tested me in the courting phase before. He took me in California. We went on a hike. And I'm not talking about just a little trail. Like this was a hike. It was 3 hours to get to the top. And he's like, I love this. I go here all the time. So we just keep going and going and going and going and going. He keeps looking over at me like, I can't believe she's still going. And I'm looking at him like, okay, it's a hike, whatever. Like, I love hiking. But I guess a lot of people say that. A lot of women say that. So we finally get to the top. We're so high that the boats are so far away, you can't see anything. Like we're at the top. It took 3 hours to get up here. And I'm like, it's so beautiful up here. I'm up here taking all these pictures. And I'm like, this is so beautiful being this high up. And he's like, I got to be honest with you. I've never been this high up before. I'm like, I thought you told me you come here all the time. He's like, I do, but no one has ever made it to the top with me. Like, I didn't even know what the top looked like. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, this is a test. And I never thought a woman would make it through to get to the top. I'm being honest with you. And I'm like, so you test women to see if they can make it to the top of the mountain? And he's like, yeah, and you're the only one that passed. And I'm like, okay, so men have their own tests too. But long story short, we get back down. It's pitch black dark because it took 3 hours to get up. So you got to go 3 hours back down. So we're running down before it gets so dark you can't see anything. And then we finally get back to the car. So then he did something in the car that I didn't like. And eventually I cut him off. Wow. So I think he thought because he had his own set of tests and priorities and all these things that once a woman finally gets past all of this, that'll be his queen. But I'm like, oh, sir, you still got to get through my test and what I got going on. And I don't like how you did this. So you're cut off. And he was just so shocked. He was an engineer for Apple. Like he had all the things on paper that you think a man should have, he had. And he's like, no woman has ever cut me off before. And I'm like, well, there's your lesson. Like, I'm not like, I don't care how you look on paper. You do something I don't like, on to the next one. But anyway, so yeah, men have their own tests too. That was just a test that I went through. And I just like hiking. So it was nothing for me to go to the top of the mountain.
I like that.
I got to show you the pictures because it's so beautiful up there. I love Cali. But anyway, yeah, work on yourself. Anything where your weakness is my point. Because everybody has different weaknesses, right? Me, it's not physical, but there are other things that I need to work on. So know what your weakness is and work on that. Improve yourself. Become your best self to attract the best option is my point. But yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think you missed with that guy? With the guy that test you? What did you miss?
If I'm being honest, he was divorced and he had 2 kids from his ex-wife. And he would always tell me the truth about how his ex-wife despised him. And I'm like, well, maybe she just, maybe it was just a bad divorce. Things happen. But then the stories he was telling me just didn't add up. And then one time he FaceTimed his kids in front of me. And the kids didn't want to talk to him. And I was like, if your own kids don't want to talk to you, there's nothing I can do with that. Your own kids don't want to talk to you.
I thought you were going to say something along the lines of it's like how he communicates. Because I've been in California, as y'all can see. I've been in California for the past 2.5 weeks. And a lot of the women out there talk about how someone is on paper, very professional, you know what I mean? The qualifications someone brings, but how so many men out there are in tech, engineering, and they don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to be in a relationship. They don't know interpersonal skills, because I don't know if it's being at the computer or what that is, but that's a real thing that multiple girls in California were complaining about. So that's what I thought you were going to say.
But you can't.
No, I mean, he had great communication skills. It's just that his own kids didn't like him, and I don't need to know anymore. But you have on a Tahoe hat. Did you go to Lake Tahoe?
I did.
Tahoe. Isn't it so beautiful there?
Oh my God, it was one of the most beautiful places I've been in a while.
Me too. It's so gorgeous.
Yes, and I skied and everything. Yeah, so it was cool.
All right.
Shout out to Palisades.
Shout out to Lake Tahoe, man. I went out there with my old lady. We was out there. It was 75 degrees, and I'm seeing snow caps in my house. Like, what the hell?
Yes, sir.
It was confusing, but it was gorgeous, though. I ain't gonna hold you.
It's literally ski season all the way until June.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's lit. Well, look here, man. It's been another episode. You know what I'm saying? We're a little over on time, but you know, it's all good, man. It was a dope conversation. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with us, man. Crusader Nation in the building all night, man. Gotta have the chat going. Everything I've been respectful, man. Salute to the Mars. Miss Parker in the building. Anime in the building earlier. I seen you. Salute everybody for, you know, making this stream what it was. I think it's gonna have hella fire replay value. I think it's gonna be useful, man, in terms of, you know, people improving their options, because you know there are ways that you can improve your options. You are not just a helpless victim, and whoever approaches me is just who approaches me. You got to be aware of the energy that you're giving off, and you know, constantly be willing to elevate, do the work, and become a better version of yourself. And when you do, you're gonna notice a drastic difference in the options that are being presented to you. But we're gonna pay a couple bills, man, and then we're gonna get up out of here. Big Money Sandra in the building with the 50 ball. We appreciate it. Family right there, man. He says, Trill, most people are physically not attracted to those in the friend zone. They just dry up any juices.
It's a fact.
They just dry up any juiciness. A toy is at least neutral. Jesus Christ.
I mean, they got ointment, Vaseline.
No, what are we? Are we 60? Why do we need to do that?
Gotta get the job done.
Vaseline is crazy for them.
No, Ronan, no. That petroleum is not good. Don't do that.
Some of y'all need a little kickstart.
If she need a kickstart, she don't like you, bro.
You don't
She
like
gonna be at the hospital. Y'all playing with that
She
Vaseline.
don't like you, bro.
Real dog.
Just stop and leave her alone because she do not like you.
Oh, God.
Vaseline for a Kickstarter. Jesus Christ. Appreciate you, Sandra. That's love. You already know always, man. Appreciate you. The message with the tempo. I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to know that I'm one of 10 men that you're choosing. Lie to me. Because if I'm aware of one or more men, I'm not going to want to deal with you. So be discreet.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Real rap, man.
I just don't want to know.
Facts.
Mario Williams said it. I mean, Mario Winans. My bad.
Appreciate your message. Bro, back again with the 20 ball. Say my issue with having a roster of options is that we already know 80% of them are not who we need. I believe that dating today is 90% wasting time because most aren't dating with intent. Most are dating for fun, sex. That is a fact.
Bookmark booty.
Fact.
That's true.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro. One more with the fireball, my boy. Back again. Be intentional. Look in the mirror. Develop standards, realistic standards, and don't break those standards for no one. That's real.
Very good. Very, very
advising somebody. I agree 100%, man. We appreciate your message, and we appreciate everybody that donated tonight, man. Y'all know it's love always. We're gonna be back at this thing again next Friday. Y'all know it's Q&A Friday. Y'all tap in the way that y'all been doing. Bring y'all questions. You know, fire up y'all cameras, all of that. Y'all want to come up and chop it up with us, man. We open to it. You know, again, follow us on all of the platforms, man. Instagrams, the TikToks, the everywhere, man. The Facebooks, all type of stuff. And you know, we definitely appreciate it. All Krew Season merch is available at krewseason.com. That's all the sweaters, the hoodies, the beanies, the t-shirts, all of that stuff you see is available there. We will be restocking that soon. As a matter of fact, I keep seeing people saying that their sizes is out. Everybody that done put an order in, all the items done been shipped, so y'all should be getting it in the next few days. Again, live show coming soon, man. We shooting for October, first week of October. It's gonna be a hell of a show. You already know we ain't gonna half-ass nothing. So make sure y'all pull up on that. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think so. Rona got something to say.
No, I want a suggestion on Q&A. If you guys get nervous, because I know people get on there and all that, write your question down or questions. Make it easier for yourself. You know, because stamming around, it's not a good look. But you know, we get it.
Yeah, man. Don't be shy to come on stage, man. We ain't gonna bite y'all. That it's not a hostile environment. We ain't trying to get into no deep debates and stuff like that. We just want to just chop it up with you. If you got a scenario you need, you know, a little assistance on, we got you. So
we met a passport sis last week.
Oh yeah, shout out to the traveling cheeks. We see y'all.
That is hilarious.
What? Traveling cheeks?
Yeah, this is a long story. This is a long story.
Passport sis.
I'd also like to say that I really appreciate Otis's energy and spunk these last few weeks on the panel. He's been so engaging.
I've been back in the gym,
Not
baby.
falling asleep anymore.
I know he used to be.
Boys be
Nodding
tired,
off a little bit.
My man came in, man. Boy,
Came
they
back
got back to the
strong.
gym. I like it, man. Anybody else got in and out? Again, man, make sure that y'all shouting out these amazing panelists. All the Mars I've been seeing y'all posting their channels all night. I definitely appreciate that. Channels and Instagrams, y'all make sure y'all follow these people. As y'all see, they are amazing. So,
Yeah, check out
thank
Krew
y'all.
Check out Krew. Krew is awesome. It's fun. I'm gonna raise hell in the chat room, but it's
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna be in the chat this week.
That's a fact, man.
That's all I got. Oh, Tahoe vlog live tomorrow if y'all want to see the views. I
Okay.
promise y'all, they're so beautiful. It's crazy.
Yeah, show that, man. I know they're gonna be fire. Anybody else got announcements? They got shows coming up, things of that nature.
Yeah, we ain't gender warring. What's going on?
Ronan, this is called peace.
This is a nice.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Facts.
No, I'm just playing.
I feel like an emoji up here.
I didn't even put two and two together until you said it too. I say yeah. Yeah.
All right. It's Franklin time.
It is, man.
I gotta watch that.
What's that?
Yeah.
Definitely gotta watch
Snowfall.
Probably watch it.
We still with the snowfall thing?
Yes.
Season finale, man. We gotta do what we gotta do here. Ain't it? It's season finale?
I'm wondering if it's this one or we got one more after this. We gotta see it to see. Somebody gotta die tonight. Somebody gotta die.
We gotta see it through.
It'll be 10 episodes.
So how many? What are we on now tonight?
It's the night. So it's
9 tonight?
Yeah, 9 tonight.
Okay, cool.
So we got one more. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all are excited. Okay.
It's the best show on TV, man.
What are you guys talking? What series is this? Or show?
Snowfall.
What is it about?
Fix.
It's
Who is
like a
on-
different kind of power, right?
No, it's not like
Well, I mean, it's based on a true story. It's a story basically about Freeway Ricky's life. He was a drug dealer back in Los Angeles. You know, he started young. He ended up the CIA Contra scandal and all of that stuff, where the government was allowing drugs to be sold so they could fund a war that the Congress wouldn't give them the money for, and they used it. They used the black communities to do it.
Yep.
And that show basically is showing how all of that stuff came about, but it's just putting it in real time with
Jesus.
personable characters and stuff. So yeah, dope that show.
Netflix or which?
Stars. I think it's
Or,
Stars.
or Hulu.
FX.
Hulu.
Oh, I don't know about
that.
that.
But you can watch it on Hulu though.
Okay.
But now,
Yeah.
I see somebody in the comment, reading the comments. Somebody said P Valley. I work in production on P Valley. We actually start filming in 2 months. July 18th, we start filming. We're gonna film 2 seasons back to back. I'm just letting people know if people want to know. It's not gonna probably come out till 2024, but we start July 18th and we film it till March 23rd, 2024. And they're trying to shoot 2 seasons back to back. I don't know if y'all watch P Valley, but
Of course I do, man. I gotta see.
We tried. We tried.
I can't do it.
everybody can't get
I honestly don't watch too much TV anymore.
P Valley went too far to the left for me. I had to leave it alone.
Yeah, that tape was wild enough. It was a lot of wild.
I'm good.
I couldn't handle it.
I work for. So that we doing that in 2 months. And also tomorrow, we having another live film session for us back in Atlanta. So the channel y'all like what we got going on. We got a live film session tomorrow night.
Cool.
It is, man. Make sure y'all tap in and support, man. Leaves in the chat. Y'all already know how we give it up, man. On that note, we're gonna wrap this thing up. We're gonna see y'all on Friday at 9:30-ish. We're gonna be back at this thing again, man. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. We are gone. Y'all take it easy.
Oh yeah.
you.